welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day here, to another group of the FEL, the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship Group B. Of course, we were live 24 hours ago with Group A, and now we have returned with the final group of the group stage. Here we go. We are back. We are here. We have returned. Welcome, of course, as VIP. With you and joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by these lovely tournament sponsors as well. Where did my plushies go, PAPI? Where did they go? But we're jumping in. We're jumping in. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live. The bracket is stacked. I say bracket. The group is live. The group is stacked. It's going to be a GSL format, a 4-player group. We have 3 Protoss and 1 Terran. We have Gerald, PAPI, ArT, and Spirits all facing off. The top 2 will advance on into the playoffs to determine the best player in all of Bologna. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. Oh, it's the man of the hour himself. We talk about him all the time, PAPI. Yay. It is the Polish Protoss. It is PAPI. Hi, PAPI. Let's go. God damn it. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3. As a reminder, this is going to be a best of 3, not a best of 5. The best of 5s are for later on in the broadcast as we jump into our initial PvP. Oh boy, here we go. I will say Gerald, of course, is going to be coming in as one of the favorite players to make it out of the group, but you can never count PAPI out, PAPI. Oh my god. I also have to watch myself and not say the word too much before it loses all meaning. It might be too late by now. I can't. Every time I gotta hold myself back. I even just said it just then. I can't. God damn it. God, every time. Just then I had to stop myself. But regardless, so far 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener here out of our red Protoss player. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of our blue Protoss as well. So 2-gate openers all around. So far, standard openers. Yesterday, when it came to Cristiano versus Mana, we had a very unique dynamic where Mana was going for non-stop economic builds, non-stop non-stop cutting corners, and we saw Cristiano attempting to punish him and succeeding, and at times failing to do so time and time again. But here this time we have standard openers from both sides, so we're not going to be having that opportunity to go for these one-base all-ins anywhere near as much. So we're going to have a very different kind of dynamic here in this PvP, or in these PvPs tonight. Very different. But I'm here for it. I am ready for it. Let's go. So far, we do see the attempted delay here at the natural. PAPI, he will break out. It is going to be a Stargate open out of our red Protoss. Meanwhile, across the map, Gerald's going for the Nexus first. Okay, so it's going to be Nexus before Tech. Meanwhile, Tech before Nexus. So we have a bit of a divergence here between our 2 players. A little bit, as we do have the faster Stargate. But actually, Gerald's also going to be opening up Stargate as well. Going to be later, but with the help of that hallucination, he will confirm the Stargate of his opponent. And Gerald, he can open up with a Phoenix instead of an Oracle to shut PAPI down. Oh boy. Here we go. So far, PAPI, he is likewise in the dark. He has yet to scout, yet to confirm. He's moving out with his own hallucination. So they'll both swat each other. Here we go. The Stargate is on. Oracle is on the way. Ooh, he's opening up Oracle first before recognizing what's going on. And this Oracle should not really get much damage done, as he does scout, does confirm. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Stargate into Twilight Council. So not committing too hard here into Stargate play. Twilight Council does entail a Blink as a follow-up. And there's the first Phoenix, again, to shut down the Oracle. And the hallucination confirms that Phoenix production has begun. So it does get eyes on the building and morphing in Phoenix. Oracle moves out, and it should not get damage done. As there we go, it does move out. And we'll see if Gerald, I mean, again, he should be able to keep up. He should be able to maintain his economy here, but we'll see. We'll see if he can somehow bypass. There we go, Phoenix does move out across the map. Shout out to, of course, the FEL, the Fusion Esports League. As the Phoenix does barely miss the Oracle. Uh-oh. Yeah, it does miss him. Phoenix out of position, the Oracle does hit the natural, and damage is going to be done. This should not have happened. The Phoenix going into the bases here, and the Oracle does get probe damage, getting 1. Oh, just 1 so far. Okay, 1 probe does fall. Across the map, Phoenix taking some hull damage. Oracle backs off, and again, it's going to be on Gerald to hunt down that Phoenix, so hunt down the Oracle. So far, 2 worker kills. Not a bad start. Ese papi es malcriado, papi. Ah, true, true. Oh, no. Not like this. So we do have Gerald going for his own follow-up Oracle in towards the main, or in towards the natural. Last papi out of position, losing 1, 2 probe kills. Ay. Trying to keep up, and does quite a bit of hull damage. Not bad. A third base is going to be on the way for both players, and we're settling in towards the mid game. And again, this is kind of a game state that we rarely got last night between Cristiano and Mana, despite the fact that they faced twice in their own series. Again, it was a lot more chaotic between the two of them. Here, this is what we expect. More often than not, getting to the third base, getting into a more mid-game scenario here with Blink, getting into Charge, getting into Archons, getting into more of a back and forth. As Gerald does move out. Gerald moving in. His army is spotted. We can see PAPI is in position. Does have the stasis trap as well. Throws down the stasis ward. And with that, his third base should be fine. Should be able to hold on. We do have some counter stasis traps here, so again, has to be careful as to how he does move out. Gerald setting up a counter attack as well. Well, speaking of catching out the Oracle, very nice catch. The Oracle does go down. Likewise, Phoenix into the main. Oh, nice target firing here. Out of PAPI. Does focus on the Oracle. Gonna be zoned away. He does break in. And so far, we do see PAPI is keeping. Oh no! He blinks forward. It does blink in. Massive stasis goes off, and now the third base is exposed. And now we can go for the army, go for the army, go for the mineral line. Tempting, but alas, he doesn't quite commit, not yet. Yeah, as Gerald doesn't have enough reinforcements behind this, getting extra gateways, working towards a charge. And it doesn't quite push in. Doesn't push in, doesn't have enough at Epside Duche into the mineral lines. Getting a couple of workers. Nice damage so far. And we just realized it does seem like Gerald has been skipping warp-ins. He's been skipping warp-ins, investing into upgrades and investing into gateways. And that means that PAPI actually has a massive army to work with here. But is he going to make use of it? Is the question. Does he move out? If not, it's kind of a waste here. As Gerald is investing into another expansion. Fourth base on the way for both players. Charge about to finish. Supongo no cheese. Nada. No hay queso, papi. No hay queso. Está bien, no. Está bien, no. As if our stalkers, they do overextend, so a better catch here from our red Protoss. PAPI does shut him down. As again, we're just having a much more passive approach here, now getting in towards a 4-base saturation. Again, much more passive. PAPI is yet to actually be active on the map. So as you mentioned earlier, the higher stalker count didn't really lead to much here from the side of PAPI. Here we go. Gerald does reinforce. From here, Gerald does have the Zealot lead. He's got a massive amount of charge. Also, there's one Archon here for our red Protoss, only one. And I'm not sure it's going to be enough here. As also do charge in. The Archon holding its own. Yeah, nice choke point there. Very nice choke point. And with that, PAPI does shut down the main army. Not a bad fight. I was like, is the Archon going to be enough? I mean, with the force fields, it was. And with that, Gerald is going to be chased down. At the same time, so I'm making on the right hand side is going to be cleaned up for the most part. There's one Zealot left. And probes are going down. PAPI does have a supply lead. And now would be the time to push. He wins a fight. Shuts down the Oracle. Now is the time to break out. And let's go. Yeah, he's got the prism, he's got detection. Now is his time. Send it, Papi, send it. He's up 20 supply. We got a wall of cannons and shield batteries on the way. Ooh, the longer this goes on, the stronger the defense is going to be here for Gerald. Likewise, he does have the stasis trap as well. Papi's moving in. And does he spot it? Oh, ooh. Does trigger it. Does trigger it ahead of time. Diving on in. And he should have enough. Yeah, Papi should have enough here, especially with the help of the Archons. Archons, they just shut down all those charge slots. Stalkers are coming from behind, but there's nothing they can do. There's just not enough army here for Gerald. And Papi's gonna do it. He's gonna break on through. Again, bearing in mind this is a best of 3, so every game matters that much more. And even though Gerald's coming in as a favorite player, you don't get more favor than Papi. No shot. Not on this channel, not on the CranKy Ducklings. And let's go. He does break through. We have a couple of reinforcing cells. We have Stalkers coming in from behind. The Prism does survive. Warps in another Archon. GG gets called, and Papi, he'll take game number 1. Whew. GG. Does take the first game here. Again, he was able to have a really strong defense here. I mentioned earlier that he did have a larger army earlier on. I was concerned that he wasn't doing anything with the army, but Gerald pushed into him, which I was surprised by. I was surprised that Gerald pushed into Papi the way that he did at the 4th base location. Again, Papi had the larger army, he had the better tech, he had that one Archon as well. He took a much stronger fight, and everything just snowballed into a win from there. GG, well played. Gerald just overextending, and again, there was no need to be as aggressive as he was there. Gerald, he was teching, he was expanding, it felt like he was working towards a longer and later game. So for him to commit like that early on, I mean, he did lose quite a bit. And with that, we're now getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into Maganatha for game number 2. Whew, let's go. From here, we're jumping into game 2, and we'll see if Gerald can bring it back. We'll see if he can force the ace match. And once again, like Gerald, he's one of the stronger Protoss players in the European region, not just in Poland, by the way. I would definitely rate him quite highly amongst European Protosses. Papi less so. Like Papi, he's been less active. Again, Papi, he's pseudo-retired. He has not really been competing too much this year, only recently returning to laddering once again, now that there's been tournaments announced for Poland. So again, he's still kind of he's still shaking off the rust, you know, he's still kind of getting back into high gear, and it's looking pretty good. And there we go, spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. The teamless Protoss, by the way, the Polish Protoss, leading the series 1-0. It is PAPI. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Polish Protoss player representing Streamer Zone, the favorite player to make it through the group stage, but down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can bring it back. It is Gerald. Also, shout out to Gerald, by the way, as he is also one of the tournament organizers as well. Without Gerald, the Fusion Esports League would not be a thing. So Gerald, he's one of the big minds, the big brains behind the scenes here, behind the tournament. Also going to be competing as well, might I add. And again, I'm expecting him to force the ace match, right? As I mentioned before, like coming into this group, Gerald and Spirits, there are some high expectations for the two of them to make it through. But as we can clearly see here, PAPI and ArT, I mean, they're willing, or they can make them work for us. They can definitely punish them and maybe even cause some of those upsets. Let's go. We're here for it. Are here for it. As behind this, it is going to be a 2-gate opener here out of our red Protoss. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of our blue Protoss. So far, mirrored builds. And welcome to Maganatha. Maganatha is the largest map in the map pool, longer rush distance by ground. I'll be honest, I do expect to see something similar here, where our players are just calming down and claiming their 3rd base, claiming their 4th base, building up. We'll see if either one becomes a little bit more aggressive here than what we saw in game 1. But now we have our probe scouts. Second pylon in the main base for PAPI, second pylon in the main base for Gerald as well. Everything looking normal, everything looking as it should. We have our initial double Stalker opener. Okay, so double Stalker out of Gerald, a Stalker Sentry out of PAPI. PAPI going for a standard opener, Gerald going for something more aggressive here. He can follow this up with a 3rd and 4th Stalker and rally across the map. So Gerald is going to have more DPS, going to have more damage output. Meanwhile, PAPI will have more scouting information with that Sentry. As the pylon gets thrown down by Gerald, he will block the expansion, he will delay. There's that Nexus. And meanwhile, the Stalkers are moving out across the map. He is moving out, and he doesn't reinforce. Okay, so he doesn't make a third and fourth Stalker, he instead expands. So Gerald, this is a bit of an assertive start, but these two Stalkers shouldn't really get much done. They can poke, they can contain, but they should not break through, they shouldn't get any major damage. The station does move out. Stalkers are getting quite a bit done here on the initial pylon. PAPI does have a force field. Oh. Does have a force field, has to take care. As the sentry's taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. Meanwhile, another sentry has arrived. Pylon is getting low. So far, nice control. Oh, and Gerald, he will actually hide his pylon. I mean, Maganath is a very large map, so scouting and looking for proxies is going to be that much more difficult here. Twilight Council is done. Are we going to be opening up a Dark Shrine? Yeah, let's go. Show us the DTs. Show us the Dark Shrine. As the pylon is done, so is the Twilight Council. Blink is on the way. And up. Oh, never. Stargate. Okay. Hello. Who was doing this? Was it? It wasn't Gerald. It was. Was it Nightmare? No. There was a Protoss player that was going for these like offbeat and off-timing Stargates, and they actually were finding some damage here. I might just be thinking of Gerald, but this is a delayed proxy Stargate, and because it's so late, it's gonna hit at a really weird timing, and it's not in your mind, right? Like as the defending Protoss player here as PAPI, like he's not thinking about Oracle harass. Like he's scouting across the map, he sees Twilight Council, sees it researching. The most on his mind would be potentially DTs, but here he is expanding, taking a third base. Because this one Oracle can achieve quite a lot of damage. Here we go. Am I thinking of Skillus? Like, there's a player that would do this, that are cool doing this. On like Alkione or something. As double adept into the natural. Doing 1, 2, 3 probe kills. Very nice damage. 4 probes even. 4 workers going down. Oracle does come out and headed towards the main. Just headed towards the main base. 4 probe kills is good, but we're about to get even more. And again, there's nothing in the main. No shield battery, no stalkers. Nothing's in position. The army's at the third instead. PAPI checking for the third base of his opponent. There we go. Oracle does arrive, and probes are going down. Another 3 or 4 probe kills, getting up to 5, getting up to 6. Oh, 6 probe kills, 10 in total. And with that, PAPI has a massive worker loss. So here, 11 probes going down. The Oracle has paid for itself. We have another Oracle on the way. And PAPI's just being torn apart. His own adepts are being called out. Gerald has an advantage. He's up in workers, up in economy, and soon to be up in army as well. PAPI, he might be forced into an all-in. We'll see what he commits to. He's still only on 2 gates though. Only 2 gateways. Just now getting a 3rd and 4th. He's getting an immortal count. But currently, at least, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Gerald. Again, the pressure's on PAPI to recover in some ways. We have another Oracle into the main, and there's still nothing here. No, there's nothing here. Pylon goes down, depowers the robo. The army is distracted. Oracle into said main base. And we can get even more economic damage. And again, the power of the delayed Stargate. Getting another 5. Oh, another 5 workers. That's 16 in total. 17. Yeah, 17 probe kills. The Oracles, they paid for themselves. Gerald still maintains a healthy lead. Now getting a 4th base. Now building up more gateways. Working towards charge. +1. And again, the soup does lie, currently. Once all these gateways finish, then it's time to warp in. Then it's time to overwhelm. Growth breaking forward. Does catch a pylon. PAPI's supply looked even as well. And Brutal pick off on the pylon. You can see he's trying to take up in towards Archons. And Gerald is pushing. He's moving out. I believe he has a War Prism. Not quite. Okay, no War Prism. But here, now you can see the supply disparity. Just need a little bit more time for the gateways to kick in. And now it's go time. And we do see PAPI out of position. Zelsa peel off into the mineral line. Likewise, ooh, diving on the Prism. Prism goes down. The Archon's putting in a lot of work, but it's also going to be targeted. It takes down the Prism. The Archon trades with the Zealots. The Zealots went from behind as well. And he won't break PAPI here and now, but I mean, behind this, 13 probe kills. 13 workers going down. GG gets called. That is game-ending damage, and Gerald ties up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Gerald does tie things up. Again, a very solid game there by Gerald. Again, going for the delayed proxy Stargate, going for the off-timing Oracle harass as well, and PAPI, the last thing on his mind was Oracle defense, and the Oracles did game-ending damage. 17 workers, 17 pros went down to 2 Oracles and some Adept harass. And that's game then and there. You cannot afford to lose that many workers to harassment. Not at this level. Not at this level. And with that, we saw that Gerald was able to snowball out of control, and now we're getting into the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Now, once again, just to reiterate, on Maganatha, it is more difficult to scout those proxies just because of how large the map is and how many areas there are to hide said proxies. So it's how much more difficult here, and we'll see how they can handle themselves as we load into game 3. It's going to be on Incorporeal. Interesting. So this is going to be another one of these larger maps. Another larger map, not as large as Maganatha, of course. But there are definitely some locations where you can hide certain tech. It's a little bit more narrow though, so maybe a little bit more difficult to hide tech. We'll see. But I'm sure after the last game, PAPI is going to be a little more adamant, a little more persistent, a little more aware to check for something like that. A little more adept at scouting. There we go. As we're getting into the ace match, we're getting into game 3, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the Polish Protoss, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? Can he bring it home? It is PAPI. Here we go. Here we go. As once again, we do expect relatively standard openers. I mentioned before that because neither player is willing to cut corners early on, we don't really expect to see too many proxies or one base all-ins, as there wouldn't be as much to punish. Would not be as much. So from here, Gerald does move out. That does poke in. Is going to be a 2-gate opener here from both players. So again, mirrored builds, mirrored openers. Both players right now, they're just checking up for the second pylon. So Gerald, he pokes in. He sees the second pylon in the main base. He confirms that there is no proxy, there is no all-in early on, or at least no proxy, I should emphasize. And likewise, PAPI should be doing the same. Going for a bit of a later probe scout. Dips in, confirms, and dips out. And out of position to block. Oh. At least he was. Yeah, it gets locked in. The downside of going for that later scouts, gets locked into the main base, and with that, this means that PAPI, he cannot pylon block the low ground. So he's locked in, sentry pops out as well. Probe is shut down, and Gerald, he can expand. Likewise, PAPI doing the same. Going for his own Nexus. Players are opening up. Stalker moves out for Gerald. And we're locking in. Oh, we have a take of choice, so Twilight Council out of PAPI, likewise Twilight Council out of Gerald as well. So both opening up Twilight Council in towards Blink Stalkers. He does head into the bases, so gets a full scout, does get confirmation, and likewise PAPI should be doing the same. Yeah, it does do the same. Does also scout, does also confirm. It gets eyes on the researching Twilight Council. Does get eyes on the pylon as well. So far, so good. Both just building up. And this time there's going to be no proxy Stargate. This time there's not going to be any kind of major economic damage that should be done. I say that Gerald has potential with these adepts. Of course, 2 adepts taking one-shot workers, and they are slipping in on the right-hand side. They're looking to slip by. You know, both players are going to be expanding. Ooh, as we do see Gerald's distracting. Does head into the base. And he's going to be blocked. Just barely. Shade is denied. PAPI keeping up. Interesting location when it comes to the expansion. So the advantage here of the linear third base that Geralt is going for is you have the high ground, right? You have the ramp here, you have the high ground. This is a much more secure location, I would say. PAPI expanding on the low ground here, he won't have that advantage. On the opposite side, I would say that there is a concave available here to push into the expansion. So a bit of a more difficult base to defend. Ooh, as they do get in. Yeah, they do shade into the main for 5 probe kills. Yeah, the pylon block was too late, and this is brutal damage. Oh, 7 probes going down. 8 probes! Oh, God. This time there was no Oracle, but the Adepts, they do critical damage. This is critical damage here at Gerald. He takes a very, very substantial lead. When behind Dark Shrine. And PAPI, he's behind. He's behind here. The brutal thing about a mirror matchup is that you have the same tools as your opponent, so losing workers like that it's just so difficult to recover from, aside from doing your own counter damage. Whether it's Oracle Harass, whether it's Adept Harass, whether it's Prism into the bases, or Dark Templar, something has to be done. Now, because this is so late though, and we have a hallucination coming into Scout, by the way, Geralt should have detection. Checking, yep, he already has the robot, he already has an observer, so DTs, they have less potential for damage. Just because the game has progressed to the point where now it's standard to have robos and have detection. Speaking of robos on the way for PAPI. And Geralt's now going for his Gateway Explosion, and he should be going for a timing here. Just like the last game, he should be going for, even game 1 actually. Every game so far, he's gone for this +1 charge timing, at times to his detriment. But he's going to be going for it. And it won't hit for another, minute or 2 minutes even. Waiting for the gateways to kick in. But it is going to hit quite hard. Now, Dark Templar, they also give a little bit of a way into Archon production, right? They do give an avenue into Archons. Geralt, he once again does rotate. PAPI, he has almost no map vision. He doesn't see the army. Pro's getting called out, losing another 2 workers. Losing almost a sentry as well. Trading blows. Yeah, more of a back and forth even trade here between the 2 players. At the same time, Zelda arrive here on the left hand side. To head into the mineral line. Stalker's in position. PAPI is keeping up. And here come the Warpins. Here comes a Prism as well. Geralt is pushing. We spoke about this. What does he have? He has charge and +1. The upgrades are done, and here comes Geralt. Again, he's quite committed here. For good reason. He knows he should have the lead. We're just waiting for the warp in. There it is. I did miss a warp in before this. But he is pushing forward. Shield barriers are not done. Gonna be targeted down. And we spoke about this area as well, how much more open it is. Zealous collapse in. Force Field's trying to slow down the army, but Zealous, I mean, they engage anyway. And the Immortal's exposed. The Immortal does go down. Zealous do a great job tanking. Oh, dives on the Immortal. It takes 3 volleys. Takes 3 volleys to bring down. GG gets called. Gerald, he breaks the 3rd base, and Gerald, he will claim the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Gerald, he will claim the series. He did come in as the favored player, of course, but a shout out to PAPI because he was able to hold his own. And I'll be honest, both Game 2 and Game 3, what won Gerald those games? The economy. The harassment, I should say. Game 2, of course, the Oracles did game-ending damage, 17 probe kills. That was critical damage with Oracles and with Adepts. And here as well, we saw the Adepts get 8 probe kills. 8 probes doesn't sound like a lot, but at this level, in a mirror matchup, 8 workers is everything. And that's why we saw Gerald's +1 timing there hit so hard, because he had a massive economic lead. We saw that PAPI, he was able to close, or he was able to catch up in workers, but he had to spend money making workers, whereas Gerald spent money making production, making gateways, reinforcing his army, and getting a greater army to work with. Again, every little bit counts there, and losing 8 probes like that, I mean, it's brutal. It is brutal. And we saw that PAPI's way to recover was to go into Dark Templar as well, but we saw that, again, there was detection, like the DTs, they couldn't really get anything done. They got scattered as well, so that's kind of comeback mechanic, or the way to come back in that game that PAPI had opted for, didn't quite really come to fruition. GG. With that, GG well played. With that, Gerald, he will claim the series, and now we're getting ready for our next matchup here. Remember, this is a GSL 4-player group. We have our first 2. Now up next, we have Spirit and ArT also facing up. Let's go. Let us go and let's catch up on the group itself. And also, if you're a fan of PAPI, don't worry, he will have another chance to recover in this series. He'll have another chance in this game. Don't you worry. As bam, we are getting into our bracket here. Okay, so as you can see from the top, we have Group B. We have Group B available here. We have 4 players. We have Gerald, Spirit, ArT, and PAPI. And we just wrapped up with our first series. Just wrapped up here with Gerald and PAPI. Does go the way of Gerald 2-1. Went all the way to the ace match where Gerald does take it. And meanwhile, we have our second best of 3, Spirit versus ArT in a Terran versus Protoss matchup. We're going to be going on a short break, very short, like a minute or something. When we come back, we'll have Spirit and ArT facing off. And again, should be a short one. We'll see you soon. See you soon in a couple of seconds. Let's go. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second series of the broadcast, to our second best of 3. We just wrapped up with our first matchup here, and Gerald is waiting for the winner of this very series in the winners match, and we're about to find out who will face off against Gerald. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the blue Polish Protoss player, the Platinum Heroes Protoss, the blue Protoss. It is ArT. Not to be confused with the other ArT that also was on Platinum Heroes for a time. But here we go. Spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the best Terran player in all of Poland, representing ROC Esports. It is Spirit. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is? It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3 TVP. Coming into this, Spirit is going to be the favorite player, similar to Gerald previously, but I can 100% see a world where ArT can take a map and maybe even take a series as well, bearing in mind this is a best of 3, not a best of 5, so upsets, they can occur a little bit more frequently in these shorter series, so we'll see if ArT can bring it to Spirit. Let's go. Also, Shema, shout out to Kashim in the chat. Shema, Papi Shema. Likewise, I see Jumi in the chat as well. Jumi, aye. I do apologize for not going live earlier. I was feeling a little bit under the weather today. So for those that are curious, on our schedule, we were going to be casting the Fusion Esports League global qualifier for the Cracov event. It was the third qualifier. We casted qualifier 1, we casted qualifier 2, and we were going to cast qualifier number 3 as well, but I wasn't really feeling 200%, so I was resting instead, and just to make sure that I was at 100% for this event for Group B. For Group B, again, it was going to be a back-to-back broadcast of Fusion Esports League, one straight into the other, and we're at least here for the group stage. Here able to cover the group stage, but I do apologize for not covering qualifier number 3, especially because I saw that Jimmy did quite well in it. In said qualifier, made it all the way to the best of 5 qualifying match, where it went all the way to the ace match as well. A lot of PvPs there. I did notice a lot of PvPs. Here we go. From here, though, we are getting into our initial openers. It was a Rax Expand, Economic Start into a Delayed Factory, so Economic Start here by Spirit. Meanwhile, back at home, going for a Twilight Council opener. It's been a while since we've casted ArT. Like, ArT, he was a very active player a couple of years ago. Like, I'm referring to 2020 and 2021. Like, ArT, he was, I would say, on the rise. Like, he was one of the up-and-comers in Europe that I was definitely paying more attention to, more so than Cristiano, more so than Gerald, like in the early COVID days. But ArT, after devoting a lot of time to StarCraft, he kind of took a bit of a step back in recent years and has been less active, competing in less tournaments, and again, we have just seen less of him over the past couple of years. ArT, he spent some time in Korea. Again, that was also back in around 2020-ish era of StarCraft. He was in Korea. We'll see what he can bring to the table. So far, throwing down additional gateways here, getting up to a 3-gate blink setup. 3-gate blink stalker. I saw some people in the chat asking about PAPI. If you are not too familiar with the European scene and the Polish scene, then you might not be familiar with certain players like PAPI, players like Rodzin, players like Ziomek, for example. Just because a lot of them, they mainly do compete in regional events. I say that PAPI, he often did, especially in years past, he did compete in other like online tournaments and online like European-centric events. But in recent times, you know, he took a bit of a step back. He's been less active. We did mention that at the start of the broadcast. How he's been less active. ArT as well has also been less active as of late, compared to previous years. Meanwhile, Spirit opening up with a mine drop. It is spotted. ArT is moving in for the interception. And, oh, Spirit, he does boost away. Thankfully, he does boost away. Does get the hell out of there. Blink is not yet done. But so far, ArT, he does maintain map control. Ooh. Catching out the Reaper. Reaper is getting caught out. Este pecoeta. You're an animal, Papi. You're an animal. SMH, my head. You're an animal. Spirit, he is still trying to be active with said drop. Behind this, working towards his own 3-1-1 setup. Stim is on the way, combat shields, no Banshee play. The hallucination does confirm that as well. There's no Banshees, there's no early Cyclone, there's no early drop play outside of this mine drop. So pretty passive start here by Spirit, pretty standard, building up his biotank. And ArT is able to comfortably get into his own third. Now going for his own gateway explosion, charges on the way, working towards Storm, working towards eventual Archons, but mainly Storm. That's going to be a splash damage of choice. Currently in the meta of SE2, it is more stylistic to go into Storm or go into Colossus. I will say that like maybe a month, 2 months ago, it was very trendy to go into Storm, but in recent weeks, we have seen a lot of the top Protoss players step away from Storm and go into Colossus. The reasoning for this is because Terran players got used to rushing into earlier EMPs and earlier Ghost production. Like, the meta has been kind of like shifting. PvT especially has not been the most stable meta, I should say, just because it's been shifting quite a lot over the past 6 months. But here we go. Spirit moving in. It's spotted. ArT's going to be able to slow him down. Picks up a couple of Marines. Marines going to be going down, but Spirit, he does not back up. He does reinforce. He's pushing in. He wants that third, and Storm is not ready. Yeah, Storm is barely not ready in time. And without Storm, there's no way to hold. There's no way to defend. Force morph in the Archon. And again, he needed a couple more seconds. Storm finishing up in 5 seconds, but he has no High Templar. Morphed in the Archon. No. Yeah, he morphed in the Archon, so 0 Storm. With that, the base is going to fall. Takes down the third, and that's all the Spirit wanted. And you can see here, ArT breaks out, but too little too late. And too little too late, the damage has been done. Spirit, he gets the hell out of there. And ArT takes a massive loss. Ay. Takes out one of the medevacs. Does chase down Spirit. Does force him back. Third base on the way. And from here, Spirit, he has a pretty massive lead. He's got his own third base. Now he's taking up in towards Ghost. There's that Ghost Academy, in towards EMPs. So Spirit, he's up in bases, up in economy, up in production. And right now the pressure's on ArT. Now he can still pull off a comeback here, but there's a lot of pressure on him. He has to commit quite hard. If he can land some storms, if he can take a fight, then maybe he can break the third. But ArT's pushing. He's moving out. He's got 3 storms, 3 ArT Templar. Warping in a couple more. Takes down the initial Widow Mine. No tanks behind this, but there are 4 Widow Mines. They are setting up. And again, it comes down to the storms. Speaking of, very nice. First storm does connect. Second storm, ooh, graces the army. Not ideal. But it's got 2 more storms. Ghosts are on the way. Storm and Marauders, they can tank it. 1 storm left for the main army. More High Templar warping in. Ooh, EMP goes off. Yeah, now we commit. Yeah, now Spirit, he does step forward. Takes down the High Templar. Trades with the army. Another EMP connects. Yeah, and without the Archons, they just crumble. They go down one after the other. And Spirit, he holds, he defends. I mean, again, ArT, he had to break through. He had to take the fight. And this is just a rough position for ArT. He's getting further behind. Just now claiming his 4th base. And again, the reason why Spirit has such a massive supply disparity here and such a massive supply lead is because of the earlier loss of the third. Like, to lose a base and to lose an entire base mining that early on was brutal. And that's why ArT was pretty all in there. Like, he had to break one of these bases and had to get into the economy, had to get into a mineral line. As Spirit's moving in, we have imprisonment to the main. Oof, EMP connects. Snipes High Templar. And Spirit, he just sims in. Yeah, he just sims in, takes down the main army. Zellstep popping off in the main base, but GG gets called. There's nothing to defend, and Spirit, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Spirit, he will take a lead in the series. Oh, did I... Uh-oh. Do apologize. I was lost in thought and I didn't quite open up the predictions. my apologies, my apologies. It's always difficult to time that, just because for those that are curious, there is a delay. There's a delay on stream, 2-minute delay. So I tried to open up predictions when we're 3 minutes in. Doesn't sometimes do forget, so no apologies. I'll be sure to be on it for the next series. Regardless, Spirit does take a lead here, and we'll see if ArT can recover and bring us to game 3 again. The big moment here, the big deciding factor for Spirit was when he pushed across the map, when he broke the third base. We saw that ArT was able to clean up that army, but that was only after the third base had been broken, and again, that was just too many losses too quickly, too early on. GG. GG, well played. Now we're getting to game number 2. Jumping into game 2. And game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. Okay, one of the larger maps in the map pool. One of the larger maps. And we'll see how our players do adjust. My eyes are going to be on ArT. Let's go. Yes, Shama. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is ArT. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Terran player. We have the red Terran representing ROC Esports. It is Spirit. We go. Welcome one also Tokamak. Tokamak is again one of the larger maps in the map pool. As a result, we often see longer and later games, but I mean, I can see Spirit going for another kind of crisp timing attack to try to knock down the third base and gain a lead early on and snowball from there. Hello. Never mind, as we're going to be opening up 2 racks here early on. Now this could be 2x Reaper, otherwise we could go for a bit of a delayed approach instead. My eyes are going to be on Spirit here, but for now 2x Reaper here from our Terran player. Probe does dip in. We'll see if he commits any harder. Oh, as he is going to misread this. He pokes in, he scouts only 1 gas. He believes it's going to be a Rax Expand, not 2x Reaper, which means we can go for an earlier bio timing. No shot. Okay. So what I was curious by here is, especially because of 1 gas geyser, if we throw down a 3rd Rax and we go for an early sim timing instead. Don't make the most sense in my mind. No, never mind. Okay, Marine first into Reaper production. So delayed Reapers here, but also mass Reaper. And again, it's all hidden behind this, and ArT has no idea. Everything that ArT has seen screams economic opener. Like again, single gas, single racks. There should be a CC, right? In his mind, there is a command center. So a cheeky build here by Spirit, very cheeky. Just now going for the CC, but it is late, and we'll see what he can get done. Now, what I will say is that, you know, we still have a Stalker to work with. You know, we're still gonna have some kind of defense here. It's still gonna come down to the unit control, to the unit micro. Oh, only 2. Okay, I assumed that we were gonna be going for like an extra wave behind this, but no, only 2 Reapers. So this is going to really hit its stride in a longer and later game. With this earlier bio setup, we should be going for earlier add-ons. There we go, Reactor, we're waiting for the Tech Lab. Reapers, they do poke in. They get 1 probe so far, they get 1, they're going to be getting up to 2. Ooh, the Adept is in position. And we shouldn't get, oh, I was going to say we shouldn't get 3 probes go down. 4 probes go down, uh-oh. 5? Oh my god, barely not. 5 probe kills here across the map. Nice damage here from Spirit. And behind this, yep, there's a Tech Lab into early stim. Do we go for a 3rd Rax before Starport? Okay, no. The answer is no, we're going for the Starport. We're not going for a 2 base all-in. We're going for a bit of an awkward 2-1-1. 2-on-1s are a bit of a rare sight in this matchup. Not unheard of, but quite rare. So building up an early high marine count. Now this kind of build is going to be vulnerable to 4-gate blink. But the chances of us seeing 4-gate blink, especially in current StarCraft, it's very outdated. Not really seen too often. Alright, he's so far getting up to 3 gateways. Based on what he's seen, I mean, he knows it's going to be a... Does he know? He should be somewhat aware. That was a 2-axe opener. But so far it looks like 3-gate blink into a 3rd. Yeah, speaking of, there's no 4th gateway. But the prism is on the way. Okay. I believe. And again, like, this position that Spirit has is very abusable. Which is why I said the 4-gate blink would punish this. The reason for this is because no tanks, right? Like, there are 0 tanks in the main base, 0 tanks at the natural. Because of the build itself, it doesn't leave room for tank production. So Stalker aggression would excel. For now, though, he's keeping up with the mine drop. Stalkers are being kept busy. And and Spirit, he's about to finish them. He's finishing up the upgrade. Spirit, he races back home. Here comes the main army with the War Prism as well. And ArT, he delays his 3rd base in favor of what? In favor of Warpins. In favor of more Stalkers. Let's go. Does warp in 3 at a time, but Spirit, he's ready in the main. No bunker, which is what I will say. There's no bunker in the main base, but the army's here. And thankfully does not blindly blink in. Rotates over, the boys are being pulled. It does pull in time, but oh! Prism is exposed, and it looks like the Prism will not go down. Does barely get away. Prism does pull back. ArT extra warp ins, late 3rd base for ArT, but he is expanding. So ArT forced a recall. Water mines into the main. And water mines are going to be cleaned up. No major connections. Gets a Stalker. So far, Spirit, he does break out. He's breaking out. He's going for his timing. 3rd CC behind this, not going for a 2-base all-in. Those mine shots do go off. Uh-oh. Decent harass. As Spirit moves out, ArT, he misses the move out completely. Not quite in position here. Yes, Spirit, he's rotating over towards the 3rd base. ArT just now arriving, getting caught out, losing a Stalker. Losing 2. Brutal rotation. ArT just out of position here. The shield battery is going to go down. The Immortal as well. The Immortal's exposed. That should not have happened. And he's pushing into his own bases here. And this is just getting damage. This is becoming too much. It's getting out of hand. 9 probe kills. The main army gets bullied. Bullied, and the 3rd base goes down. And we spoke about it earlier. GG gets caught. That is game-ending damage. A similar story here to game 1, where you move out, you break the 3rd, and you end the game. GG, well played. Spirit, a bit of a quirkier build. So credit to Spirit here, opening up with a hidden 2-axe Reaper opener. So hidden 2-axe Reaper, from there going into a 2-1-1, which again is very unorthodox. We saw that ArT tried to punish, but ArT did not do enough damage. I should emphasize that ArT put himself behind because he delayed his own 3rd, and he delayed his 3rd base in favor of Stalker aggression, but the Stalkers didn't get anything done. They picked off a couple of Marines. That's all they got, so it wasn't worth it. So ArT, he was falling behind as he failed to get damage, and unfortunately he missed the move out, so he was caught out of position, right? He was caught out of position, he was caught outside of his bases, pushing into his own third base, where his shield barrier was exposed, his immortal was exposed. Usually those key units are behind the army or with the main army to have a little bit more buffer, and GG. GG, well played. Spirit, he will claim the series, and with that, we have our first 2 matches wrapping up. We have our winners match coming up next. It is going to be a best of 3 between Spirit and Gerald. Likewise, we're going to have a PvP to determine the first player eliminated from the group. It is going to be Gerald versus PAPI in that elimination match. Oh boy. But that is going to be a best of 5. The elimination match, I mean. Just as a reminder, that would be a best of 5. Until then, though, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll have our next matchup. Again, we'll have Spirit versus Gerald after this short break. See you soon. See you soon here for the winners match. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the winners match. Welcome on to the winners match here of the FEL, the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship. We are here to determine the first player to make it through the group stage into the playoff bracket. Here we go, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the Polish Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing ArT Esports. It is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Oh, we're cheating. Let's go. And over in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Such luck in the chat as we get into our initial matchup here. We're going for the Proxy 2x, Bunker Rush. No gases here. Okay, no gases whatsoever. We're going Mass Marine, and alongside some bunkers alongside this, I would imagine here. This is a TVZ build. This is a rare sight here in TVP. So a bold move here by Spirit. He's sending it across the map. Now, what I will say is that I do favor Gerald in a longer game. Like, Gerald, he has some insane late game PvT. We've seen Gerald take it to Cure. We've seen Gerald take it to Björn. We've seen Gerald take down some big Korean Terrans in the late game. If he can get there, that's only if he can get there, though, because Spirit, he knows, and he's going to try to end the game early. Also in the chat, fala galera, papi, fala galera. I do see Ice Guy in the chat as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Obrigado, papi, obrigado. Ice Guy. As the Marines are amassing and Spirit is all in. He's all in, papi mio. We do see Gerald's going for his own gate cyber expand here. Standard opener out of Gerald. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. Here we go. The bunkers are upon us. The SVs have arrived and the bunkers are on the way. Again, as we mentioned, this is a little more commonplace amongst Terran versus Zerg matchups, less so against Protoss. And Gerald, he is none the wiser. He's none the wiser. He did open up Zealot first, thankfully, to try to punish across the map. He did see no gas. He knows that there's some kind of weird proxy. He saw no gases. He saw no racks. Shield batteries on the way. Marines have arrived. And the Zeldor is taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. From here, going for the shield battery as well. Yeah, the shield battery is going to be denied. Oof. Zeldor taking a lot of damage. We should be getting a backup shield battery here on the high grounds. Bunker is complete, and behind this we have the factory on the way. Factory back at home. And the goal here, can we break the natural? No shot. Can we break the natural base? Can we break the Nexus? We have one Stalker Wells down to work with. We do have a Robo on the way behind this as well. The base is cancelled, and that is all this Spirit was hoping for. He cancels the base. I mean, ideally he wanted to catch his Zealot as well. But from here, Geralt, he should be able to hold on. He's got a Stalker, he has a Zealot, he has a shield battery. Geralt, he should hold on to the main. Oh. But from here, Spirit, he is now looking to break out of this. Going into a 2-on-1 delayed CC, going for a safety Cyclone, I would imagine. Going for the Cyclone back at home. Behind this, girl throwing down 2 more gates, so going for what looks to be almost a setup for a 1-base all-in, or just very committed on 1 base, as of course he cannot expand. It's just a brutal position here for Gerald. Very brutal. There's that CC on the way. Spirit is now expanding. It's a late CC, I guess in comparison to everything else, but it's faster than that of Geralt, and that's what matters. So it's going to be a CC after the Starport. Cyclone is on the way. Medevac as well. Going for the Cyclone drop. That has arrived. Spirit now is going back home. He will be broken. And Geralt now he can expand. Heals at the bunker. Geralt breaks out. And claims his own Nexus. So the game will continue from here. Currently, Spirit is ahead. Like Spirit, he does have a lead. He has momentum. He's moving out with his drop. He's got his Cyclones, has his Marines. And we'll see if we can get across the map. So far, there's nothing at home to defend. Gerald is actually pushing out with everything. Prism, the Immortal, Sentries as well. Let's go. Gerald, he is committed, but he's going to be pushing into a tank. The tank itself, there's actually not much to protect it. There's no bunker. So we could even see Gerald try to break this position. But at the same time, Spirit, he slips into the main. Oh, no. Does slip in, going for the Autosis Pylon. No, the Pylon powers everything, forces the recall back home. Yeah, the army does recall, Pylon goes down, depowers everything. And he just picks up and leaves. He forces the recall, snipes the production, gets the hell out of here. We see Gerald attempting to intercept, okay. Gerald, he does attempt, he does spot the medevac. Hoping to try to catch Spirit off guard. Speaking of, volley goes off, oh, gets one, gets two. And he barely does not get the, barely does not get the medevac. Medevac does get away, tanks do siege on the high ground. And the punish is real. Oh my god. Takes out the adept. And it falls, brutal tank shots. Spirit he's on two bases, he expands, he's saturating. Spirit he breaks out, I believe he just lost the medevac. Yeah, medevac just went down. The prism! Ta-da! Prism goes down. And this might just be too much. I mean, if he can fight within range of his tanks, then Spirit he can claim the fight, he can push. But he needs those tanks. And I pulls back. Pulls away. Behind this third TC in production, so Spirit just maintaining that greater economy. Let's maintain. So double S7. Bienvenidos. Gerald again trying to expand himself, going for his own splash gem of choice, going for Storm. Storm is on the way. Cyclone catching out his zealots. Liberation into the main. Oh, warped in zealots to defense. Our probes are going to be going down. Yeah, 3-4 probe kills. Nice damage here from Spirit. And we did mention that again, like Spirit, his goal here is to try to break Gerald early on and slow him down and cripple him before a 4-base kind of setup, or even a 3-base setup. And so far, Spirit, he's done well. He's done very well for himself. As Spirit, he's still ahead in workers, still ahead in economy. And the supply disparity that you're seeing here, it's going to get larger. At this point, it's going to get larger, especially once the 3rd base kicks in for Spirit. Now, things are looking bleak here for Geralt, but with Storm, anything can happen, right? If you can land a juicy Storm here on the Bio Army, if you can catch the tanks on siege, for example, like there are opportunities, there are ways for Geralt to recover. Warps in into the main, the warp in will finish just in time. Zealots, they do trickle into the main at the same time. Tanks run, so well, tanks do siege. Yeah, they siege in time. Tank boys going off, Storm on the tanks, but on the High Templar go down. This is not worth it. It's not worth it. As Geralt, he will lose everything. Oh god, the Immortals, the High Templar, the Stalkers, the Chargeless, they get cleaned up in the main. And there was maybe an opportunity there, but you can see here, Spirit, he's got almost double the supply. He has a massive army supply lead, and we spoke about it, right? Once his 3rd base kicks in, that's when Spirit kicks into high gear. And now he's pushing. Liberator back into the main. Snipes 2 workers. Likewise, Dustin forward. GG, and with that, Geralt Spirit, he will break the natural base, and Spirit, he takes game number 1. GG. A very aggressive game here by Spirit to kick things off. Remember, he went proxy 2-Rax bunker rush at the natural, and he cancelled the natural base as well. It was just a brutal start, and we saw that Geralt, he tried to counterattack thereafter. He was forced to recall back home. He couldn't really get any counter damage done, and Spirit, he was in the driver's seat with his drop play, with his Liberate Harass in the aftermath as well, with a faster 3rd Nexus, or 3rd CC, I should say, for Spirit. Just getting further ahead and maintaining his lead, and GG. GG, well played. A much more aggressive game here by Spirits, but as we mentioned, like, I feel like this is how you want to approach Geralt. Like, you want to try to stop him early on before he can get comfortable. So that's the way to go. So we're now getting into game number 2. Let's go. We're jumping to game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Persephone, and we'll see how... we're getting into game 2, and we'll see if Gerald can recover, bounce back, and more importantly, strengthen his early game, tighten things up, and make sure he can get into a 3-base economy without too much issue. Now, I don't expect to see Spirit go for the same build and go for the same cheese or the same proxy, not at all. We'll see how he does mix things up. Show us what you got. We go. So jumping into game 2 this morning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Polish Terran player representing ROC Esports. Leading the series 1-0. It is Spirit. We go. So we are settling into game 2, and again, last game, as a reminder, Spirit kicking things off with a Proxy 2-Rax Bunker Rush with Mass Marine. This time the Rax is back at home. This time more of a standard opener. Calming things down early on. Now, this doesn't mean that there's not going to be aggression here. I mean, we could still see Spirit commit on 2 bases. We'll keep an eye on his tech. We'll keep an eye on how he does develop coming into a longer game. But we do expect aggression out of Spirit, for sure. We do expect it. Gerald moves out with his probe scouts. Shout out to the FEL logo. Go. As we have Gerald going for the pylon block, and he will disrupt the CC. You can see here that it's slightly off center, so it's going to have to be lifted and landed. Likewise, does DPS down the initial SCV, does force a second SCV down to the low ground. Gerald just being as annoying as possible, but at least he does confirm economic build. Right, he confirms, okay, CC is back at home, Rax is back at home, everything's looking normal here. No crazy proxy this time. As Reaper's looking for the probe, by the way. Searching for the probe, it does miss it. Reaper moves out, and the probe can move back in. The safety bunker on the way. Ooh, the probe does not get the SCV. And will be hunted down. From here, we can just settle in. My eyes are going to be on Gerald. We have our tech of choice going for a Twilight Council opener. And from here, we'll see if Gerald goes for a safe opener and a safe build, referring to 3-gate blink into a third, or if he cuts corners and tries to be a little bit greedier. Against a Rax expand from Spirit, I would say that Gerald is most likely safe to go for a 2-gate opener instead and cut some corners, as the Reaper is going to be sniped, no scout into the main. The ball is in Gerald's court. Meanwhile, a 1-1-1 out of Spirit, faster starport. Going for the starport, making a single Hellion. I don't expect to see any more from here, just single Hellion for scouting, yep, into Winter Mines, into what looks to be a mine drop. Meanwhile, here comes Hallucination, and this Hallucination is designed to scout the add-ons, to get an eye on, are you making early Cyclones, are you making early Tanks, are you making an early Banshee, what exactly is happening? And it will confirm no add-ons here on the starport or the factory. There we go, no add-ons. Confirms the mine drop. Second Rax is on the way. Hellion rushes into the bases. And we spoke earlier that we can try to cut some corners here, but it's going to be 3-gate blink. Okay, so 3-gate blink out of Gerald. Means that the Hellion gets full scanning formation, and now Gerald can expand. Ooh, as the SCV does get in. Not bad. Sniping, almost sniping some SCVs. There we go. 2 SCVs going down. Not bad. Now the tech labs are on the way. As the mine drop is slipping in. Mine drop into the main. No major damage yet, but we'll actually pick up. We'll save one of the winter mines. We'll save one, and we'll... Oh, barely save the other. Slick moves there by Spirit. Very nice. Hallucination comes in, and again, we're rescanning to check to see if there's any research on those tech labs. As we dip into the main, and there it is. Gets eyes on no research here. Tech labs are on. We have stim on the way. Combat shields on the way. 0 tanks. That's also pretty crucial. So 0 tank production instead, and much earlier stim timing. So 3-1-1 setup, early stim, early combat shields. Raven is out. Now, I would say that because there's no tank production, this does give Gerald the opportunity here to be active and to try to poke in and get some damage done. But instead, he's distracted, or he's kept busy here by the drop. Now we see the move out, but I do think this is late. It's a bit of a later move out here from Gerald. I think he could have fanned out earlier. Raven towards the bases. Feedback after the auto tart, unfortunately. As damage is done. Soldiers in position. They get a marine. Oh, but they just blinked. They get punished. Yeah, the brutal pick off here, losing 1, 2, 3, all 4. Oh my god, barely 1 stalker makes it out, but again, that was a brutal loss here for Gerald. And despite the stim, and now the marines, they can just heal up. Yeah, they can just heal on up. Oh god, that is... This healing pad is brutal here with this early stim timing. You can stim more freely. We could have even seen a second stim. True. We'll run drop back in. Army does rush forward as the storm is done. Shows the storm. Oh, he does stand in it. He does stand in the storms. Oh my god. Best storm that we could have hoped for here for Gerald. That was the best storm. And with that, he should hold. Yeah, he should hold on. Again, Spirit, he just took the storm to the face. And Gerald does defend. Meanwhile, order charged into the mineral lines. Spirit forced to back up. And Gerald, he's holding nicely here. He's... Oh, I spoke too soon. 7 perps! Ay, ay, ay. 8 in total with that winter mine. Didn't realize that the mine did go off. Drops are still being active. Double drop into the main. Main base is exposed. The army does react to the scan, to the drop. And once again, our toasted pylon goes down, denies the warping as well. Delays +1. Push on the right hand side. There's not really much to work with here, but it does get a shield battery. The drop does get away. Oh, snipes High Templar. That is worth it here for Spirit. Very much so worth it. Nope. As if he's not careful, he's going to lose that medevac. Yeah, medevac goes down. Spirit getting a little bit too cavalier. And as the dust settles here, even though Gerald's like technically he's holding and surviving, he's lost so many workers already. 14 probes have gone down. He's also been losing some high-tech units like High Templar. And this all adds up. Spirit, he's now happily on 3 bases. Spirit has a higher worker count. He has the better economy. He has mules as well. So Spirit, his economy is booming. And that leads into this greater army. And he's going for the 4th. He wants that 4th base. Gerald has been struggling to hold on. He's hanging in there better than game 1. Like, game 1 was just a really brutal start. Game 1 was a very brutal start, but here in Game 2, like Gerald, he's been able to hold his own a little bit more, but it's still a lot to overcome. Zone. Storm does zone away. White Army does back up. Likewise, letting the port CC. Not bad. Gerald is being active. At the same time, double jump. No! The High Templar goes down. Forces the recall. Yeah, the army does recall back home. So Gerald, he's no longer being active. It's going to be 7 probe kills. Spirit, he defends back at home, and now Spirit, he can push out. Now he can break out. Again, just as Geralt is able to achieve some damage, bam, Spirit, he goes in. He goes into a base, takes down 10 probes. Spirit so far still looking solid. Ghosts have arrived. Vikings are amassing. Second starport is on the way. For additional Vikings. That'll be for Colossus as a follow-up. Spirit out of position. And with that, armies that do hit both the third and the fourth base at the same time. Getting into mineral lines, 5 SCV kills, nothing major yet, but this does pull the Spirit back. 7 SCVs. Okay, nice damage here from Gerald. Ooh, Storm pops up. Nice Storm. And again, Geralt is heavily reliant on Storm. You can see how far behind Geralt is tech-wise just because he has the Bay that's on the way, and Spirit already has a second starport. Oh, but the Warping does complete. The Warping does finish. Once again, Spirit, he's out of position. He's going for his own counterattack. +2 is denied. Army's under threats. Army's pushing in. We're getting a little bit chaotic here. Spirit having a hard time responding. He lost the Armory. The Armory and the eBay as well. Is this going to be worth it? Spirit, he's kind of attacking. He wants the fourth. Beats up the Zealots. Tanks a Storm. Tanks another. Does get the High Templar. Is pushing through. Geralt, he races back. Nice side by the Stalkers. Nice side by the Zealot as well. Can he get another High Templar? Zed going for the mineral line. And targets out the High Templar as well. He gets, oh, he does get it. Barely not. Cool, no, he gets one. He gets one High Templar. One more Templar goes down. And nice counterattack here from Spirit. Rotating once again.
This better be good.
Oh, EMP goes off. Prism goes down. Spirit going for the Doom Drop. Gerald's not in position. He's ready here between the bases. Drop into the main. Remember, recall's on cooldown. Oh no, never mind. Just now being used. Recall into the main. And no High Templar, they're still on the way. But Gerald, he will defend. He will clean this up. This is a big loss here for Spirit. He will lose everything. Now I'm sure he was also trying to wait and see what was going to be recalled. But at the same time, he does break the expansion. 19 probe kills. Nexus goes down. Still worth it for Spirit. But again, did lose a lot of supply. Oh. Now being forced back. Making use of the healing pad. Yeah, but Geralt, he's going to send it across the map. He's got plenty of High Templar, plenty of Storms. And Spirit, has he lost too much? Has he lost far too much here? Geralt is going for the kill. He's going for the kill. He's going for the throat. He's been losing bases, losing mineral lines. Now is the time for Geralt to push. Now is his time. Keep going. How many High Templar? 6. 6 Templar, at least 6 Storms. He's going to have more than that. Does push into the fourth. CC goes down. This is nice, but we need more. Oh. Storms A zone. Storms A zone away. Geralt, he's going for the gold. That will help him recover. Again, economically, Gerald, he's in a really rough place, but with the gold base, he can bounce back. He can bounce back with the gold. Prism into the main. Oh! Iron shall take pop up. Gerald's pushing forward. And again, while he distracts the main army, the Prism is making its way into that main base. And we spoke about it. It's like, ideally, Spirit wants to end the game early, but he hasn't been able to. He's been aggressive, he's been dropping, but not quite enough. And he never restarted +2. Yeah, the upgrades have been lacking. Remember, after the tech went down, he never started +2 again. So the upgrades are not where they need to be. Zelsay warp into the main. Zelsay overwhelm. Yeah, they overwhelm. They overpower the main base. Getting on top of the production. And Gerald, he might have just done it here. He's just bullying back Spirit. Spirit, he cannot push into this. 13 SCV kills. Takes down the CC. Takes down 2 CCs. And Gerald, he has the gold. He has the gold base fully operational. It's up and running. Oh. That's 2 backs. Storm's catching out the Medivacs as well. Oh, no, the Storm. This is still quite close, though. That's a hefty amount of Vikings now going for the Colossus. First Colossus is going to go down. Storms are decent, but he's running out of Storms. Yeah, Gerald, he's down to 0 Storms for the main army. Another Colossus is about to be chased down. Brutal pickup. And from 6 down to 2. 2 High Templar. 2 Templar left. Storm goes off on the Medivacs. Another High Templar moving in. Spirit, he has not seen the gold. And now he knows. Yeah, he saw the probe. He saw the probe. Yeah, he stems in. And the gold base is going to be denied. A very intense back and forth here. And this gold, this was keeping Geralt in this game. Not like this. It's going down. Geralt's catching reinforcements. Does catch reinforcements. Zelsay do hit the 3rd base. Spirit, he does rush in. Oh. He's about to be sandwiched. But there are no High Templar. Oh, it's okay. High Templar coming in. Does have a couple of Storms. Storms, they do connect. They shut down the Vikings. Yes, Spirit once again stands into Storms. Oh, God. The Storms are brutal. He stands in all the Storms. And Gerald holds. Gerald, he holds. He cleans up the army. At the same time, he counterattacks across the map. Takes down that 19 SCVs. And Spirit, who will lose everything. He just lost almost everything here. The main army, the 3rd base. CC's burning. Gerald takes the supply lead. It's been very back and forth, but again, Spirit has had a really hard time with these main fights. With avoiding Storms specifically. Now pushing in towards the planetary. A nice micro with the SCVs. He's here to punish. EMPs, they go up. Archon's going to go down. The CC's getting very low. And it will barely survive at the cost of 22 SCVs. And Geralt, he has a center base. He has a center base up and running, taking another expansion. Geralt, he has an economy. He has 71 probes. Spirit down to 33. Yeah, Spirit, he's running out of steam. And again, we got into a longer game state. We mentioned it. As Spirit, his goal here was to end the game early. He was hyper-aggressive, was going for a bunch of drop play. He was getting damaged, but he could not end the game. And you could argue he lost too much. You could argue he lost too much when it came to his drops in the mid-game. He lost a lot of that momentum. And we are going to the ace match. Let's go. We're going to game 3. That was the hope. We'll drop into the expansions. Does force a recall, does take down 2 Colossus. Okay, and the mineral line. 3 Colossus. Oh, wait, oh my god, almost. It takes out at least 2, almost all 3. Clutch save there from Gerald. And the GG gets scored. That's it. That's all that Spirit had left. And Gerald, he will have the series. We're going to game 3. Let's go. We're going to game 3. We're going to the ace match. Going to the ace match, and again a very intense back and forth. Spirit, again, he had momentum for the majority of the game. I want to say for the first, I mean, you can even see here for the first 12 minutes he was ahead, he was thriving. Then he took some really rough losses. If you recall, he lost a double drop on the right, sorry, I think it was a triple drop on the right hand side, and a push on the left. Like, he bled out so much supply at once, and we saw Gerald get back into the swing of things, take control away from Spirit, get into that game. GG, well played. With that, we're going all the way to the ace match. The ace match is going to be on ley lines. And again, this could go either way. Show us what you got. So we're getting into game number 3. Now we'll see if we proxy again. This would be the time. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Polish Terran player. We have the red Terran being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? Can he bring it home? For ArT Esports, it is Spirit. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. Tying up the series 1-1, forcing that ace match, it is Gerald. Here we go. See the chat, the upgrades so good for Gerald. If you did recall, we did mention at the time, but Gerald, he was able to get into the main base and he was able to snipe the eBay and snipe the armory, and the upgrades they never rebuilt. They never restarted for Spirit. Like, that was also during the comeback of Gerald that he did have in that game, where he was able to shut down the drops and also get across the map and snipe upgrades and get SEVs and, yeah, just take control away from Spirit. So it was a really nice recovery there from Gerald. Very nice. And we'll see how Spirit will adjust. Shall see. There we go. Claiming our own natural base. So just going to be an economic opener, racks expand, add a Spirit, going for a single gas. Nothing crazy. And of course, Gerald does confirm that. Dips into the main. Will eventually be hunted down. And once again, we'll see how greedy Gerald's going to be as a response to this. Last game, he still just went for a 3-gate opener, 3 gates into his own third. See if he goes for less gateways. We'll see if he goes for something more assertive as well. Remember, last game, Spirit, he didn't make a single tank. He went into an earlier second racks, into earlier stim, into a really heavy bio composition, which I feel like is catered towards Persephone just because of the healing pad, right? It was just really good to make use of the early stim, just because you can just heal up right after. Meanwhile, we have our starport on the way. Once again, singular Hellion for scouting, into most likely Widowmine drop. So while accounts open out of Gerald, getting into Blink. Oh, I assumed Hellion into Widowmine. It's going to be Hellion into early Tech Lab. Okay, this time a much earlier Tech Lab here by Spirit. With this, can lead into early Cyclone or an early add-on swap. Here we go. There it is, early Cyclone here out of Spirit. I'm going for early drop play. So Spirit, he's mixing it up. Mixing up his build. Gerald packing home once again 3 gates. So once again 3-gate blink into a 3rd base. So once again we have a bit of a safer start here by Gerald. Spirit moving out early on to catch out any stray units. Actually pushing with everything he has. The armies, they pass by each other. That's where he does push out. At the same time, there's not much of him to defend. Only 2 Marines. So these 2 gateway units, they can get quite a lot done. Yeah, boys are being pulled as if he's going to be going down. And Spirit, he turns around. He races back home. Brutal damage. Yeah, 4 SCV kills. Takes down the mule. Takes on another. I mean, he can trade with the Marines. Oh, gonna get caught out, but this is worth it. This is still worth it here. One Stalker, one Adept for 4 SCVs and to force the army back home. Nice damage behind this, going into tank production and Banshee play. Gerald, he is rescouting. He does get eyes on the tech labs, he knows. Or at least he's more or less aware. He barely misses the move out. No. Does miss it. The army is somewhat being active. Oh no, he's pushing on the right hand side. He's gonna miss the move outs completely. I believe he did get a glimpse here on the Banshee. Okay, Gerald, he does pivot back around to the center. Boys are being pulled. Tank is getting caught out. Very nice rotation. Does snipe the tank. Yeah, massive pickoff. Tank goes down. Banshee as well. Okay, that Banshee does survive. We get the mass repair. Mass repair, recall back home. Spirit's pushing in. The tank takes a lot of hits. But that's what the boys are for. They're here to repair. As there's Guardian Shield, he blinks on forward. It takes out the tank before the boys arrive. Oh, but that does cost Gerald a lot of Stalkers. Yeah, so many Stalkers go down. Leading out Stalkers, leading out the Sentry. Spirit, he does push into the mineral line. And he denies the warp in as well. Ay. Now pushing in towards the gateways. He wants that pylon. Does run the army away. Pylon goes down, denies extra warp-ins. Down to 1 gateway, boys are being pulled. Oh, the juggling. The control. Oh my god. Yeah, with that, Gerald, he will hold. He will be able to hold on here, but he's holding on with a handful of Stalkers. He's still rallying across the map. Spirit, he's still going for it. He's still rallying. He knows how close he is to just breaking Gerald here and now. Gerald throwing down extra gateways, trying to repower those gates. Ooh, takes down the medevac. Medevac does go down, but the tank is on the way. Behind this, 2 gates only. He's got 2 gateways. He has limited economy. Losing another Stalker. So lose another. Ooh, Banshee goes down. Nice pickoff. No repairs. Yeah, late repairs there from Spirits. He doesn't really have much left here to work with. 4 Marines and a tank. And Gerald holds. Ooh, Gerald, he does hold on. He does shut this down. And where exactly are we here? I mean, again, Spirit, he was very dedicated. He threw away so much supply the 3rd CC just now starting. And Gerald, he holds, he defends. His own tech was also delayed as well, true. Like, both players, they delayed their tech. Stim only just now beginning. Gerald pushing into 2 tanks, though. Gets 1. Let's catch 1 tank. Let's cancel the bunker. As Gerald, he does reinforce, rallying in those zealots. Bust into the bases. And he barely does not get the tank. That was a lot of zealots. Does trade with the SCVs. Does trade. 8 SCVs going to be going down. Catching out the Banshee. go. Gerald moving out. Oh, I should say Spirit pushing out. So a little bit distracted. You see Gerald collapsing in from behind. Does come in a little bit too soon here. As Gerald, he is punished. Again, he has 2 flanks. Storm is done. And Spirit, he needs to find some damage here. Again, his third base is late. His economy is delayed. Spirit is falling behind. The supply does lie. Oh, it's pre-sieged. Nice catch. Does catch the army, takes on one of the High Templar. But again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Gerald. He's on 77 workers. The supply disparity is about to get out of control. Spirit, he's pretty all in. He has to break through. Sieging between the bases. Trying to break the natural. Storms are buying time. Gerald, where are those weapons? Gerald, he's got 1,000 minerals in the bank. What's going on? I was about to say that he should have an army here. Again, he's got 1,500 minerals. How many gates? 10. He's got plenty of gateways. He's been missing warpins. Yeah, he's been missing warpins. Storm on the tanks. And this is getting closer than it needs to be. He's got almost 2,000 minerals. Gerald, PAPI, what's going on? We need those warpins. As Spirit, he does take a lead. Spirit is pushing forward. Again, when the army was posturing here, Gerald, he was starting to bank up. Gerald, we need to spend our money. And with that Spirit, he is pushing forward. He's dropping here on the left. Again, this should have been a bit of an easier hold here for Gerald, but now he's up against the wall. Wouldn't match our set. Gerald trying to reinforce. Claim another base. I mean, if he can preserve his bases, then it's still okay. But Spirit, he's waiting for the ghosts. EMPs have arrived. He's looking for the High Templar. Oh, brutal mine shots. Brutal mines are connecting. High Templar, they're coming from behind. Spirit pushing in. We get an okay storm. EMP does connect. There's one more storm left. And Gerald hold. Whew, okay, Gerald, he does hold on, he does defend. Now getting a second robo, now getting a bay as well. A lot of this tech is late for Gerald, I will say that. Again, as he was holding on there, as he was trying to defend, he was missing warpins, he was also delaying his tech. So this is a bit of a shaky mid-game here from Gerald. It's been very shaky. As we're going for almost a base trade. Oh, army does recall. He recalls back home. Wadget's going off, takes out the prism. Yeah, nice sniping from Spirit. Very nice. Takes down the prism, takes down the mineral line as well. Drop here into the bases, and Spirit, he's done it. He's done it. This one, he has broken Gerald. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Gerald, he's in a really good position in the first, 10 minutes of this game, or first 8 minutes even. He survived the first wave of aggression. He was able to take a lead. He was up 20 workers. He was up in bases. Ay, ay, ay. And Spirit here overwhelms. Takes down the natural, pushes in, takes down the 5th base as well. Gerald is just being pulled apart. And with that Spirit, he's now takes that lead away from Gerald. The economic lead specifically. Gerald, he had the economy, not anymore. The Bay is still on the way. It got sniped earlier, so no Bay, no Colossus. Still limited splash damage. Only High Templar, only Storm. Templar Archives has to be rebuilt as well. Not like this. Now, Gerald, he still has a standing army to work with. He still has 2 ArT Templar, and he has a couple of Storms to his name. Now, he doesn't find a way in. Doesn't find a way in. Now, Gerald, he can stabilize if he's able to keep Spirit pinned, right? If he can slow the game down, re-expand, double expand even, which Gerald is about to do. If Spirit is passive, then Gerald can recover. That Spirit, he's still licking his wounds. Being kept home by the main army. All good things here for Gerald. There we go, Disruptors are on the way. And Disruptors are a way to recover in this game. They're a way to pop off, to make up for a supply disparity. And this time the upgrades won't be denied here from Spirit. It's got 2-2 on the way. About to finish. Likewise, I'll spot that flanking High Templar. Moves on the right. Going for the EMP. The army's close by enough. And Spirit, he's going to be cleaned up. Oh, can he get the base though? Oh my god, he barely does. Yeah, 2 drops, takes down the Nexus. Pushing towards the left-hand side, sorry, the right-hand side as well. There are Disruptors. Yeah, Disruptors, they zone away. Zone away the army. He's holding on. They are popping up, zoning back the army. Does get zoned away. Gerald, again, he's very much so back in this. With all these Disruptors, he can take a fight. And he's recovering. Like, he was able to double expand. He successfully double expanded. Now, I might have just spoken too soon because here come the Marines. Gets into a mineral line. Does force a recall. Only 5 probe kills. Could have been worse. Spirit is still the first to max out. Like, Spirit, he still has the edge. Go, he has to try to respond. Here, rotating over. Gerald, he's getting into 3-3 upgrades. Oh, very nice Storm. Storms are connecting. Spirit, he deals with the Zealot run by. Oh no, the Disruptors they do overextend. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Disruptors. And very nice splits as well. He splits, he avoids all the Novas. That was 4 Disruptors going down. The 5th one barely survived with 4 HP. No. And we spoke about Geralt recovering in this game and having potential with the main fight. That is true if he kept the Disruptors alive. Not like this. So a brutal loss there for Gerald. Now he still has 3 Novas and 1 Storm. First Nova goes off. No major connection. Here's that second Nova. There's 1 Nova left. Storms, they lead the charge. EMP doesn't go up. And Geralt, he will take over that low ground expansion. Does get a kill. Not bad. He kills the base at the same time, though. Spirit, he will kill the Northern Nexus. Yeah, he does EMP as well. No recall. Army's racing over. The base goes down. But can Spirit escape? Can he get out of here? This is being cornered. He has to load up. 1 Medvac goes down. And he does stim away. He's able to stim away, able to stim out. Spirit rotating over towards the northern base. Dropping into the mineral line. Oh! Decent Nova. And once again, we're going to be trading bases. Nova does connect. It takes out the Marauders, takes out the Ghosts as well. Big loss here for Spirit, losing the expansion. And we're going for the base trade. At this point, we're going for the base trade, but we have Colossus, we have Disruptors. Like, I do favor the main army here for Gerald. Does recall to the third. Like, in a head-on fight, Gerald has a lot of potential. Speaking of, here come the Novas. Oh! Oh my god, they do connect. Yeah, Nova goes off. And Gerald, he does it. Gerald, he does it. He takes the main fight. He'll clean up the Marauders, the Ghost, the Medaxi, everything. And Gerald, he does it. Keep going, PAPI. Send it. Send it, PAPI. And again, just some rough fights here from Spirit, leading out a lot of supply. He did snipe some bases, true, but it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. As Geralt was able to punish. Geralt still has an expansion. Still has an economy, and I can't say the same for Spirit. Spirit, he's running out of money. Running out of bases. But he got here. He got here. Yeah, as again, the Empire army does spread, but we have storms, we have plenty of Novas. Like, Geralt, like, there's no shot he loses this fight. He's got plenty to work with. Nice EMP on the High Templar, but there's still another storm coming in. Zones away. Disruptors, they're now off for cooldown. Nova goes off. Taking out both Widow Mines. And Geralt, he just bullies back the ground army of Spirits. Oh, Disruptors are exposed. One over connects. Yeah, and GG gets called. Geralt, he overwhelms. Then Geralt, he will take the series 2-1. Advancing on to the main event, to the playoffs of the Fusion Esports League Polish Championship. GG. GG, well played. A very intense final game here, very back and forth. There was some strong moments for Geralt, then stronger moments for Spirit as well. Very back and forth. You saw Spirit, he was able to pull Geralt apart, snipe bases, snipe the economy, take a lead, but then he, you could argue, overextended himself. He bled out a lot of supply and lost bases himself. We saw that Geralt, he was able to recover, get into Mass Disruptor, deny expansions, and make sure that Spirit didn't really have an economy to work with. He ran out of money towards the end there. He was running out of bases, running out of CVs, and likewise took some brutal fights as well. Took some brutal fights. GG, well played. With that, Geralt, he does claim the series, and he will be a part of the top 4 of the playoffs. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be getting ready for the elimination match, bearing in mind that ArT and PAPI, they were lying in wait. We're going to be going on a very short break. When we come back, we'll have a best of 5 between our 2 Polish Protoss players. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship. Welcome back to Group B. We just wrapped up with our first winners match. We just wrapped up with Gerald advancing on into the playoffs, but now we are here to determine the first player to be eliminated from Group B. Oh boy, here we go. We have a best of 5 PvP ready for us. This morning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss. It's the man of the hour himself. It is PAPI. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. Let's go. The PvP has begun. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Welcome back. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck as we jump into our PvP best of 5. Here we go. Here we go. As we do have our 2-gate opener, 2-gate opener out of ArT, a 2-gate opener out of PAPI. So far, so good. ArT does peel off towards the left-hand side, though, so he's going to be hiding his probe for the moment. We'll see if he does end up hiding his pylon and does commit to any kind of cheeky proxy as he's setting up here outside of the main, in the center of the map. Let's go. Yeah, the probe is set, the pylon has been thrown down, and ArT looks like he will commit. Now, as PAPI moves in for the probe scout, he will confirm the pylon is missing. He sees the pylon is nowhere to be found. Something is wrong. It could be a fake out, it could be a very real proxy instead. We see it's going to be real, but PAPI has to confirm. As there it is. The cyber core is just about to complete, and the robo has been thrown down. One base all in, out of ArT. Let's go. Let us go. We are setting up here. Again, going for the one base all in. PAPI, he is going for the hallucination scout. He's checking on the left hand side as well. PAPI does move up the ramp, and it looks like he will find the proxy. Let's go. He does come across the all in. He's aware of the robo. He now knows what's going on, and behind this we need a defensive robo himself. There it is. Robo has been thrown down a third gateway as well. PAPI delays his own natural in favor of tech, in favor of a defensive setup. Let's go. But is it too late? As ArT is moving in, he's going War Prism first. Prism into Immortals. Alright, he's moving forward. Shield Battery is just now starting. PAPI needs a little bit more time. Let's also win this match for sure. PvP unwinnable, PAPI. Unwinnable. True. Everyone knows. As ArT dropping into the main. Drops into the main base. Going for the middle line. Four stalkers. They one-shot probes. 1, 2, 3 probes going down. A nice start. Ooh, a wasted volley here on the cyber core. Does waste a volley. One stalker goes down. Up! Gets a sentry as well. Let's play aside the sentry. From here, pulls away. Going for another sentry. Sentry taking a lot of damage. So far, nice control here from ArT. He does pull away. Still bleeds out one stalker, which was less than ideal. Every stalker does count in a one-base all in, but here come the reinforcements. Here comes the Immortal. The Immortal and a sentry in a force field. Meanwhile, the shield battery's out of energy. ArT does rotate over. Force field does lock down that Immortal. Does run away. Yeah, the Immortal is just pinned back. Sentry's going down. A nice big off here from ArT. Yeah, just bullying PAPI here. He's getting bullied. Please out the shield battery. The sentries. Overall, ArT's only lost the single stalker. The efficiency here has been crazy, but the stalkers are very low. True. Stalkers are very low. That's what the adepts are for. They hit a buffer. He hit a certain damage. He's moving in. He wants a prism. Nice force field. He locks down the army. And he will overwhelm. Yeah, he's done it at this point. ArT will overwhelm, takes down all the stalkers. GG gets called, and ArT will claim game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played again. It was a bit of a later scout out of PAPI, later reaction. Unfortunately, likewise, he was unable to defend his main base, was bleeding out probes, bleeding out sentries as well, and we saw that ArT was able to bully the army with the addition of that prism, able to juggle his units, able to micro back and preserve everything. Remember, he only lost one stalker in the lead up to those final moments. Insane efficiency out of ArT, and some early losses out of PAPI. If he had preserved those sentries, what does that mean? That means extra force fields, defensive force fields, specifically guardian shields as well. Sentries have so much potential in that early game with that energy, with those spells, but alas, we didn't really see them come to fruition. I'd say we're sniped early on. Here we go. So we're getting into game number 2. Now, bearing in mind this is a best of 5 series here, so we have plenty more games ahead of us. Let's go. Jumping into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Magnatha, a much larger map in the map. We're looking at a very short, a very intense game 1 here for the series. Coming into Magnatha, the map is much larger, and it goes both ways here. It's larger, so longer rush distance by ground, but at the same time, there's also more places to proxy and to hide a robo, to hide a pylon, to hide a stargate, to hide some form of tech. If you remember, we did cast PAPI versus Gerald earlier, and Gerald did successfully hide a very delayed proxy stargate in the corner of the map. And PAPI, he never saw it, and it killed him. Did wreak havoc, did do brutal critical damage in the main. But now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Magnatha, we have the blue Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is ArT. He has momentum. We'll see if he can maintain that momentum. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Polish Protoss player, currently teamless, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. The pressure is on. It is PAPI. The most favorite player on the CranKy Ducklings. God damn it. You know what? After years of casting him, I've never actually asked him where he got the name from. Like, he's Polish. Like, maybe he has some Latino American roots, maybe? Like, where did he get the name from? I don't know. It's just very fitting for the channel. Always, PAPI, always. But now though, we have anything else? I like to believe he does. I like to As we do have our 2-gate opener here out of our red Protoss. Meanwhile, we have ArT going for something more economic. Do you see what I see? Single gateway. Gateway here, which means skipping the second gateway. We're going gateway into Nexus. A very greedy build here by ArT. The ArT does cut corners. That's a Nexus before the Cyber Core. So very greedy build here. And he is vulnerable to a 1-base all-in, assuming that PAPI responds with an all-in. PAPI's moving in with his probe scout, and once he sees the Nexus, he has the option to react with a pylon. Okay, now he knows. Now he does see, he pulls away, and our eyes are on this probe. As he pulls back, his second pylon is in the main, so it's going to be a delayed proxy. There it is, third pylon across the map. So this is going to be a 1-base all-in, but it's a bit of a delayed 1-base all-in here from PAPI, or delayed proxy specifically. As ideally, you'd already have the tech on the way by now. And here it is, Robo 1-base all-in. So now it's PAPI's turn. Now it's his turn. But the downside here is that, again, this hits later. This is going to be a later timing just because it's a later reaction. It was not the intended plan of PAPI. It's more of a reaction to ArT. And ArT responds with a 3-gate setup here. ArT scouts, he sees the second pylon's position. He does confirm no third pylon back at home, though, and he is searching. You see, he's searching for the pylon. Searching for any kind of proxy location. Shield battery's on the way. He's not going for a robo defense. And hallucination does confirm. Yeah, big scout here for ArT. He does see. He is now aware of the proxy of the all-in. Responds with a robo after the 3-gate setup. And PAPI's going Prism first. Going for the Warp Prism. We have a shield battery here at the natural base, but ArT, so far there's no shield battery in the main, so his main base is going to be exposed to drop play. Back at home, PAPI is getting a third gateway, so 3-gate setup. Stalkers have arrived. PAPI, he loads up. Headed for the main. And there is a shield battery in the main base, so ArT is aware. Or he's aware of how vulnerable he is here. Shield battery going to be under fire. But it will finish up in time. And ArT holds. And he does hold on. Ooh, takes a little hold damage. Oh my god. Yeah, PAPI does take some hold damage. He's forced out. ArT, he's holding, he's defending. Saves the shield battery. Again, as we mentioned, like, this is a later all-in compared to what we saw last game. Does hit later. Rotating over towards the natural. This time he didn't get any sentries. Force fields, he gets not even one. Yeah, nice control from no, there we go. Does get one. Does pick up one sentry. PAPI hasn't lost anything yet. And ideally he wants another sentry. As he's getting locked down. Nice save with the prism. Pulls away. They're going for the Bay, going for proxy disruptor. Okay. I see you. Este PAPI. Going for the Bay, going for disruptors. So let's break forward. Yo, meanwhile, big shout to Heaven SC in the chat. Oh, as one stalker goes down, but big shout to Heaven SC in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome, bienvenidos to the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship. We're here in Group B. We are towards the tail end of the broadcast. We're in the elimination match. After this is going to be the decider match. Again, it's a GSL format. As ArT does break out, he does bully back the army. Disruptors on the way, though. And it comes down to that Nova. It comes down to the disruptors. PAPI, can he pull this off? He's moving in at the same time. ArT does fan out, which means no defensive immortals. Uh-oh. Yeah, immortals are not here. Here comes a Nova. Nova goes off. Gets one Zealots. No major connection. Yeah, the Nova's a little bit early, a little bit premature. ArT's holding on. Across the map, he does get into the mineral line. Oh, he's going for the pylon, going for the production. And PAPI is trying to expand. Ay. Does move in, gets behind the mineral line as well. Probes are going down. Nice force field. He locks down the immortal, at least he tries to. Yeah, Nova goes off. Ooh, does snipe the immortal. At the same time, though, probes are going down across the map as well. Ooh. We get an okay Nova towards the left-hand side. Have another mortal has arrived. It's still going to be close. Ooh, nice save. We'll soon have another Nova. But the immortals are just so low here. Nova is off. Takes down a Stalker. Another Nova as well. Takes down the immortal. Okay. Takes down the immortal. But all the probes, 23 probes going down across the map. He has no economy. He has nothing back at home. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for PAPI. He's got to go. He has to bust into the main. He needs to break the main base, but he can't. He doesn't have enough. Third disruptor. Nova goes off. Takes down 3 Stalkers. Okay, good Nova. Takes down 3 Stalkers. It does a little bit trigger happy there. He does waste a Nova. Does clip the immortal, but he needs more. He needs more. Off the ramp. Takes down a pylon. Takes down a pylon. Ooh, once again connects with the immortal. But I was pushing into 2 immortals and a warp prism. He just doesn't have enough here. Yeah, the Void Ray has arrived. GG gets caught no anti-air. And with that, ArT, he defends with the Void Ray. He shuts down the all-in. And ArT, he takes a 2-0 lead in the series. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a very risky maneuver for ArT to go across the map with his prism. Very risky. But he was able to get into the mineral and he killed 23 probes. He crippled the economy. PAPI had no defenses back at home. And that's secured ArT. That secured ArT in that game. It forced his opponent even more all-in than I'm sure he wanted to be. It forced him into the bases. And some Novas were solid, but not enough. Not good enough. With that, GG, well played. With that, ArT needs one more game to claim the series and to advance on into that decider match. Let's go. Here we go. Catching up in the chat. Appreciate the art. Maybe he's a light fan. Cap. It's not a casual PvP, it's a Polish PvP, for those that appreciate the fine art. I see what you did there. Here we go. Here we go, we're getting into our next game. Potentially the final game of the series here. Again, we're hoping that we can get a back and forth here. The pressure is on PAPI. He did so well earlier against Gerald. Did so well. Now we're getting to our next game. But it looks like, oh, I didn't even know, but it looks like the Polish stream, they actually have player cams. That's cool. Unfortunately, we don't have access to that. Yeah, it looks like there's some issues with ArT's camera. There are some issues. Trying to resolve that. Here we are getting in. As we are now, okay, we're good to go. So yeah, just some technical issues, some technical difficulties with the cameras, but we are now getting into the third game of the series. So far, nothing but one-base all-ins. But again, PAPI's one-base all-in was a response to ArT's greed. But alas, it did kind of fall on its face. We saw that again. We saw that ArT was able to defend very nicely early on. We saw that he was able to preserve his sentries, able to get his shield batteries up and running as well, and hold and survive on two bases. So a strong defense there out of ArT. But now we're getting into game 3, and we'll see if PAPI can bring it back. The pressure is on. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss down heavily in the series, and one more loss. That's going to be the end of his tournament run here in the FEL Polish Championship. He has to bring it back here and now to make a series out of it. So the pressure is on. It is PAPI. Hi, PAPI. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing the Phantom Heroes, leading the series 2-0, 1 game away from advancing on to the decider match, where Spirit is lying in wait. It is ArT. Here we go. Again, as a reminder, be out there. Spirit, he's waiting in the decider match. He just lost his series. He just lost his match against Gerald. So Spirit, he has another chance to redeem himself, another chance to make it to the top 4, facing off against the winner of this series. Either one Polish Protoss or the other Polish Protoss. Oh boy. Bearing in mind as well that decider match is going to be best of 5. Best of 5, not a best of 3. As we have purely best of 5s from here on moving forward. Despite that, we still might get some shorter games. It's as so now we do have a quirky build out of ArT going for what looks to be okay 2-gate opener, but the gateway's up back at home, back closer here to the base. Now as a result, he's going to be vulnerable here to Adept Harass. This is the Estrella opener. Estrella is very fond of this as well. Okay. Meanwhile, 2-gate opener out of PAPI. Again, 2-gate opener out of ArT. This specific opener does make it a little bit more difficult to scout and get a read on what's going on. But the downside, of course, is that your ramp is a lot more exposed, a lot more open. So we'll see if we open up double adept. Like, typically, when it comes to your wall with your gateways, it isn't just about walling up. It's also about, like, creating more of, like, a little alleyway as well to give you a couple extra seconds to respond with a pylon to block off. Yeah, and they're double adepts. Yeah, double adept makes the most sense here. Again, to just abuse this. To abuse this location, because there is no SimCity here. So double adept is on the way. Meanwhile, Stalker Sentry Opener out of ArT. And we'll see if ArT can deny the adepts. We'll see if he can defend. Oh my god, Robo on 1 base? Wait, what? Does go for his Robo here before Nexus. Are we going for a gate? Are we going for 1 base all in? I mean, ArT, it's on him, right? Do we throw down a 3rd gateway, or do we throw down a Nexus? He's going for the base. Okay, he's going for the Nexus. So, delayed expansion here by ArT. Back at home, he does pylon block. I mean, to be fair, he also delays the Nexus of his opponent. Also does scout the adepts. Nexus on the way for both players, and it's going to be a Stargate opener. Okay, so Stargate first by PAPI, Robo first from ArT. Checking his vision, ArT, he has no idea, but the hallucination is moving out to scout. To confirm what exactly is going on. So ArT will get eyes on the Stargate. It is going to be an Oracle-based opener, and ArT is going to be fully aware. There you go, he does scouts. And I would say that this is more of a safer opener out of ArT. He's going Prism first, though. Does open up with a Warp Prism. Prism does move out. Prism moves out across the map. Oracle moves in. Stalker's in position. Shield Barrier's ready as well. Yeah, and ArT, he's secure back at home. Looking solid. Likewise, ArT moves out across the map. He's got his 3 sentries. He sneaks in. He does sneak in. He's going for the force fields. He's going for the mineral line. He's going to lock down the army. Lock down the workers. There we go, does force field, does zone away the ground army as well. He's just going ham. The Oracle, the Oracle barely escapes. Another one comes in, nice juggling, nice control, another force field again. He just can't engage, he can't move in. No, the army's stuck. That's gonna be 5, 6, 7 probe kills. Oh god, yeah, 7 workers going down and 9 probes. And that's brutal damage, that's critical damage already. 9 probe kills and both Oracles almost go down as well. The army gets away. What did ArT lose? He lost 1 probe. He didn't lose anything. The power of the sentry drop. Ay, ay, ay. He could even try to chase down the Oracles. But he lost 1 pylon. That was a pylon block earlier. He lost a probe, which was a scouting probe as well. ArT's in the driver's seat. Like ArT, he shuts down PAPI early on. Behind this, the Oracle's going to be zoned away. PAPI tries to find a way into the main, but alas, ArT, he's keeping up. He's keeping up. He's in position. He's ready. Both in the natural and the main base, and he wants more damage. He's going for the natural mineral line. Someone stop these sentries. They're coming in. Another force field. And once again, just zoning back the ground army, but here the natural's more open. Yeah, it's more open. It's only 2 probe kills. There's a recall back home. Does make it back in time. Get back. That's PAPI diving in, visiting the bases. Oh, does shade in, and this is pretty necessary here. Like PAPI, he has to get some damage done. 5, 6 probe kills, very nice damage from PAPI. So he is recovering, and suddenly PAPI does take a worker lead, claiming his own 3rd. Both players are expanding. Both players are building up. We do see that ArT does have a massive lead when it comes to immortal production. I mean, that's because of the robo opener, of course. So in a head-on fight, I do favor ArT with those immortals. And PAPI has more potential with these oracles as it goes into the main. Remember, 2 oracles, they can one-shot pros with soldier in position. Yeah, blink is done. 1 oracle goes down. Once again, soul defense here from ArT. He shuts down the oracles. Oh no! Gets the other as well. Barely survives. 4 HP oracle. Ay, ay, ay. Does barely survive, but again, the oracles get shut down. ArT's going for his own counterattack, and we spoke earlier, I favor ArT's army with all those immortals. Like, he has a heavy immortal count. He has the army supply lead. He's pushing in. He's going for the kill. Again, it's going to be a tough hold. The immortals, they go to town on those stalkers. Does go for the dive. Takes out the prism. Prism goes down. But ArT has too much. ArT has too much. ArT overwhelms. He will lose 1 immortal. But we're down to 3 stalkers. GG gets called, and ArT will claim the series 3-0, advancing on to the decider match. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. ArT will claim the series. He will advance on. Again, a strong showing there from ArT. PAPI, he had a strong showing against Gerald, but here it was a little more of an intense and chaotic series, I will say. Gerald was a little bit more passive, a little bit more macro-oriented. Here, ArT was much more in the face of PAPI when it comes to the 1-base all-in, when it comes to the proxy in game 1, or here in game 3, going for the sentry drop as well. So, yeah, just brutal damage dealt by ArT. Very impressive play. GG, well played. And with that, we have our final series of the broadcast remaining. We're going to be getting ready here for the decider match. Here we go. As a reminder, Gerald, he already made it through in first place. He already made it through in first place out of this group into the playoffs. But we're here to determine the final player. It's going to be a best of 5 between ArT and Spirit. Again, Spirit has been patiently waiting for the winner of this series, and now we have it. Now we have that ready for us. And again, Spirit, he was so aggressive against Gerald previously, and successfully so, right? He was able to break the defensive line of Gerald. He was able to push in, able to pull him apart. We saw that Gerald was able to stabilize in game 2 and game 3, able to stabilize and bring himself back into the game. But again, that was more of the tenacity of Gerald. We'll see if ArT can pull that off as well, or if ArT takes a different approach. True. Could take a very different approach instead. Here we go. Regardless, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, videos will be done, and we'll have that final best of 5. We'll have that TVP between Spirit and ArT. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final series of the broadcast. Welcome back to the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship Group B decider match. Again, Gerald, he was the first player to advance on out of the group in first place into the playoffs. Meanwhile, PAPI, he was the first to be knocked out of the group. He is out of the group in last place, and we're here to determine who will be the second player to advance on into those playoffs. Will it be our Terran? Will it be our Protoss? Up to you to decide. We'll get into it. As for now, we're jumping in and spawning in the right-hand corner of Tokamak. We have the Polish Terran player. We have the red Terran representing ROC Esports, the best Terran in all of Poland. It is Spirit. Piotr. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as a opponent, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. And if you're in the chat, get your Gamba going. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PVT. Coming into this, Spirit is going to be the favorite player for sure, but I'm sure that ArT has something special in store, special planned here for his opponent. We'll see if he can bring it home. We'll see if he can cause and force the upset. We'll see. As again, he does have a mountain to climb. He does have a Piotr to climb. Oh boy. Let's go. Let us go. So now we do have an economic opener out of Spirit going for a single gas, which means a ranks expand out of our Terran player. So more economic starts with slowing things down early on. As the CC is on the way. And of course ArT confirms. Gonna be as annoying as possible. But has to get the hell out of here to avoid the Marine. Does pull away. ArT expanding back at him as well, and we're getting into Tokamak. And welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak, of course, is going to be, or is one of the larger maps in the map pool, known for longer macro games as well. Now, we did see Spirit take a much more aggressive approach against Gerald. We saw Spirit, he was going for early pushes, early timings, early move outs, a lot of drop play as well, a lot of dedicated drops, just trying to pull Geralt apart and try to break him, and it was working. It was working for a time, but Geralt, he was able to stabilize. Eventually, he was able to stabilize. Eventually, despite the early and mid game going more heavily in favor of Spirit, more often than not, we saw that Geralt was able to eventually slow things down again, stabilize, and bounce back against Geralt. It was still a very intense and back and forth series, of course. I do recommend it, especially Game 3. Like, Game 3 was very back and forth, and it was nonsense. But we'll see how ArT can hold his own. We'll see if he can hold his own. Oh boy. So now we have our take of choice, Twilight Council opener out of ArT. Does open Twilight Council. Behind this, we have a 1-1-1 out of Spirit, going for the factory into Starport. Tech Lab is on the way, so wouldn't mind opener into Tech Lab, and we should be starting off with a mine drop, but following this, we could go for an early Cyclone, we can go for an add-on swap instead. Are we going for the swap? No, we're not. Okay, Cyclone first. So Cyclone opener here out of Spirit, going for the early drop, going for the early move out. And we'll see if ArT can keep up. For now, ArT's going for a very safe opener. He's going 3 gates blink into a robo before expanding. There are players that cut corners, that go for the expansion before the robo, or even the expansion before the third gateway, of course, as well. There are greedier builds you can go for, but ArT is playing safe. He's playing it safe. Hallucination moves out. Hallucination does spot the move out, does spot the Widowmine, does spot all the Marines. He is not aware of the follow-up reinforcing Cyclone, and it is going to be Cyclone into add-on swap into, not Banshee, Raven Harass. Okay. So a bit of a tamer follow-up here, not as dedicated or as committed. As Spirit, he's going to be moving in. No shield battery. Uh-oh. No shield ways to defend, but there's a force field. There's a Guardian shield as well. Does go for the force field. Does slow down the push. Just buying time for extra warp ins. But again, the lack of shield battery is brutal here. I did mention that ArT was going for a safe opener, but not too safe. Yeah, Blink is done in a couple of seconds. The gateway is going to go down. Nice pick up here by Spirit. Mine shot is baited. Blink is done. Oh, and he does dive in, and he will select the medevac. Massive pickoff. Will lose the gateway for it, but he does shut down the medevac, the Cyclone, and the entire army. Whew. ArT holds, and ArT gets away with his third base. Does get away with it. So I would say a better setup here from ArT. Sure, he lost a gateway, but it's okay, it's fine. Does maintain map control. Spirit, the pressure is on. He's going in for some auto harass into the main. Meanwhile, a big shout to Muka Shade in the chat. Gah, baby, yeah, hold on. Slash shout out to Muka Shade. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome one and all to again the final series of the broadcast. Stalkers able into the main base, but the tank does punish, and ArT is forced out. He'll lose one Stalker, is forced out of the main base at the same time. Raven harass here into the bases. There's a shield battery in position, and ArT does defend. ArT defends against the Raven. Meanwhile, Spirit defends against the counter-attack. We have 2 bunkers on low ground. Spirit taking a very strong, very defensive stance here with 2 tanks in the main base and 2 bunkers at the natural as well. So Spirit, he's heavily fortified. He just turtles up. He turtles on up. And it's going to be on ArT to contain his opponent and to expand. To be a little bit greedier here, to saturate his bases. But again, a big shout out to Muka Shade. So thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great time. Thank you for the raid. Thank you. And for those who are just now tuning in, again, this is the Polish Championship, the FEL Cracov Polish Championship. This is an online tournament where the best players in Poland are facing off, of course. Tomorrow is going to be the playoffs. Tomorrow, we crown our champion. Today, though, we're determining the players to make it through to the playoffs. And this is all leading to a big offline event happening in Krakow at the end of the month. Or Cracov, depending on where you are. Ooh, catching out a Stalker. Yeah, Spirit, he breaks out. A stim is going to finish by the time the army gets across the map, so this is going to be a stim timing with combat shields as well. ArT trying to slow this down. Not quite able to. Nibbling away at the army. Prism going for a counterattack. But Spirit, he sends everything across the map here. There is going to be a shield battery at least. Yeah, shield battery to defend. Spirit's moving in. Tanks are sieging. He's going for the shield battery. Shield battery, the first thing to go down. Yes, so no shield battery support. Gets into the middle line. Charge is not yet done. And probes are going down. Getting 9, 10 workers at the same time. Tanks are exposed. Both tanks are going to go down. But that's going to be 18 probe kills. Oh my god. Brutal damage here. He eviscerates the economy. 18 workers going down. The Minimax, they will get away. There's not enough Stalkers. And Spirit, he may have lost 2 tanks, but he does cripple the economy here of ArT. At the same time, the Prism was across the map. It doesn't really do much. Wasn't able to harass at the same time. And Spirit takes a lead. Spirit, he's up by 10 workers. Spirit behind this, he is taking up. 3rd CC is already done. Will soon be landing on location. And Spirit is in a stronger position here. The pressure is on ArT. The pressure is on. Again, ArT, unfortunately, just was not ready for that push. Here comes that 3rd base. Spirit, he has that supply lead, and that supply lead should be getting even greater here. Once the 3rd base kicks in. Once the 3rd base does kick in. Right now the pressure's on ArT to recover, either with Zealot drop plays, Zealot harass, Zealot run bys as well. Catching out some drops. If Spirit overextends, if he's a little bit too greedy with the drop play, if he's a little bit too cavalier, then he might be punished for it. We'll see if ArT can make something happen. Dropping into the main. Drops into the bases. Last Spirit, he's in position. The Prism's going to be hunted down. There's no recall to save it. Spirit, he defends well. At the same time, he's pushing in. He only has the 1 Colossus. He's nibbling away at the 3rd base, but here come the Vikings, and there's limited anti-air. Oh, good. Yeah, brutal EMP. Colossus is going to go down. ArT will lose everything. There's no way out of this. Colossus goes down. The Immortals go down. Gets 3 SCVs, gets some damage with GG, and Spirit, he will take aim at number 1. GG. Yeah, strong game 1 here from Spirit. Again, I will say that ArT, he did well when it came to the initial early game defense. Remember, he defended quite well against the early Cyclone push, against the early drop. He defended well. He took his 3rd base. Unfortunately, he missed the move out. He didn't really see how committed, or I say that, he did see the tanks pushing and he tried to slow it down. What I'm getting at is that he moved the prism across the map. He unfortunately wasn't quite in position to delay the push or to force an earlier siege, so he was pinned back at his third base. And yeah, we saw Spirit just take full advantage of the passivity there of ArT. And ArT was overwhelmed. He was overwhelmed, he lost his mineral line, and that was almost game then and there. Like, that was critical damage. That was critical damage, and with that, we saw Spirit overwhelmed. GG. GG well played. With that, Spirit takes game 1, but we'll see if ArT can recover coming into game number 2. Here we go. Yeah, getting into game 2 here. Gonna be loading into Ultra Love. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the blue Polish Protoss player down in the series, but it's a best of 5. We got plenty more games ahead of us. Now's the time, though, to start that comeback. It is ArT. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the Polish Terran representing ROC Esports. It is Spirit. We go. Goes. Welcome on to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is going to be one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Shorter rush distance by ground, aggression and all-ins are favored on this map. Now, even though Spirit has been quite aggressive throughout today's broadcast, in this series and even in the series against Gerald as well, he has been aggressive. In saying that, though, Spirit, he can... Of course, he hasn't been going for all-ins. Right? That's true, right? He hasn't been going for these all-ins. He's been going for aggressive move-outs and aggressive timings. That is true. But typically, he does have a third base behind it. Typically, he's working on a greater step there, or he's working on a longer game. Typically, as this time, double gas. Ooh, double gas opener. The probe is locked into the main, and we are going for a faster factory. So this is going to be a more tech-heavy style, a tech-heavy start. So it's going to be a faster factory into potentially faster Cyclone production, could go into Reactor Reaper Hellion, could go for a more committed Mine Drop, could go for an earlier Tech Lab into an earlier add-on swap into earlier Banshee play. Regardless, it's just more tech-heavy than what we saw previously, which I do actually like here on Ultra Love. And ArT is aware. ArT, he doesn't know exactly what's coming his way, but he knows that something is. As the probe is going to be shut down. So it's going to be Reaper into Reactor. ArT, he did spot the Reactor. Is aware of that at least. And from here we can go into Reactor Reaper Hellion. We can go for an add-on swap into Reactor Mine play, for example. Or just Reactor Marine into Tech Lab. What's it going to be? Okay, Woodmine production has begun. No Hellions. No Tech Lab either. Reaper goes in, and we have our Take a Choice Twilight Council after the Reaper gets zoned away. So Spirit is not fully aware. Meanwhile, nice snipe here on the building SCV. Okay. ArT did open up Zealot to punish, and he does punish. He does delay. CC is delayed. Reaper's racing back home. Marines soon to arrive. Getting into the Zealots. SCV back to building. Woodmine does burrow. Mine shot does not go off. Getting on top of the Adept though. Adept does take down the Reaper at least. Takes down the Reaper. Up. Delaying the CC once again. The second Adept has arrived, and ArT, he's overwhelming. Yeah, it does overwhelm. Does take down the army. Takes down the SCV as well. Very nice start out of ArT. Okay, let's go. Takes over the natural, and behind this we are going for a potential drop play, but so many Marines have gone down. The Widowmine has gone down, and Spirit just cannot expand. He's being punished quite hard here. And back at home, ArT's chilling. ArT's probing, getting a robo, working towards Blink. So very nice through the game here by ArT. punishing how late the CC is, and punishing the building CC specifically. Is he's still rallying? Oh, this is a bit of an overextension, I would say. Yeah, this is an overextension. He will lose the Adept and lose a Stalker. So ArT just getting a little bit too, again, a little bit too greedy towards the end. A little bit overly aggressive. And here comes the drop. Now what's important is that ArT, he saw this. Remember, he saw the Cyclone, he saw the Medevac, like he knows that something should be coming his way. Behind this, going into tank a Banshee. Okay. So Banshee follow up here out of Spirit. Pylon taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. The Pylon is going to go down. Nice juggling. Oh no, that Cyclone does fall. And ArT holds. ArT holds, he defends, does punish the Cyclone. I mean, sure, he lost a Pylon, and sure, some buildings are depowered. But ArT does hold. And I would still say that the pressure is still on Spirit to get some damage done. That's why he's pushing. Like, Spirit, he's got to get something done here. His tank has arrived. The boys are being pulled. We have a second tank. We have the Banshee as well. And it's go time here for Spirit. At the same time, ArT moves out. Does spot the army. Comes in from behind. Catching out a tank. Can he get it? Oh, the tank. Oh, my God. Whew. Yeah, clutch save. Popping up there by Spirit. He does save the tank. But he's being delayed. He's being delayed. He's being caught. Being scouted. Got the mass repair. He does beat out 1, 2 Marines. Spirit, he's pushing. But ArT so far, he's all over Spirit. He's all over it. Oh, snipes the Banshee. Jesus. Snipes the Banshee. Tanks, they're getting within range though. But so far, it's been a very impressive defense here by ArT. Just punishing the reinforcements. Catching Spirit out. Getting ready for the surround. We have to pull the boys. It's going to be close. We have reinforcements coming from behind as well. Who surround 2? Stalkers, they blink in. They get 1 tank. They get 1. They get the Medevac. They get the second tank as well. Marines, they try to punish. Spirit, he's still pushing in. Spirit, he's pretty all-in here. Like, Spirit, I mentioned earlier that he's not really known for all-ins, but he is all-in at this point. He does maintain this position, getting on top of the Cybercore. Charge only just begins. Charge is still a ways away. No shield batteries. Stalkers are punished. Spirit trying to force his way into the natural. Does dive in, takes down the tank. Tank goes down, Banshee as well. And ArT is holding, but here comes another tank. Another tank has arrived. And Spirit, he might barely have too much. Like it's a bit of a messier all in here. It hasn't messier, it hasn't been clean, but he's doing it. He's pushing through. The charge is almost complete. There's a scan. Reveals more slow loads warp-ins. Bunkers are on the way. If these bunkers get up and running, then he might just kill the Nexus. Oh, ArT, yes, he has to try to break through. But again, he can only warp in Zealots. Does wriggle the probes here to the 3rd. Trying to get an economy. Okay, here come the charge. Let's say down the Marines. But the bunker finishes. Yeah, bunker does finish in time. And the tank does hold a no shot Spirit. Can he do it? It's close. Down to 1 Zealot. 1 Zealot left. Another Zealot comes in. Going for the tank. No, he doesn't break through. He doesn't break through the tank. No, he wants him. Gets the tank, but GG. Spirit, he does break through. He does barely overwhelm. And Spirit will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Ay. That was so close and so clutch. Like, ArT, he was doing so much right in that game, right? When he was able to surround, come in from behind, catch reinforcing tanks, catch reinforcing Marines. Unfortunately, a big factor there was he lost his Cybercore. I don't know if I noticed it, but I didn't point it out. I did point out that he lost his Cybercore. I didn't point out that it took him a long time to throw it down. Like, he didn't rebuild it immediately. He actually waited a long time there to rebuild. So because of that, that's why he was warping in slow lots for so long. That's why he wasn't reinforcing with more Stalkers. That's why he couldn't actually engage and he couldn't actually break that position. He was being bullied back. He was being punished for the late reaction to rebuilding the Cybercore, and he was stuck with slow lots for so long. towards the end, charge kicked in, but by then he had already lost all of his stalkers, he had already lost a lot of momentum. Likewise, he wasn't able to mine because we saw that Spirit, he forced his way up the ramp to deny half the mining at the natural, and GG. GG well played. A very, very intense all-in there by Spirits, and he barely pulled it off. Crazy. Crazy setup, crazy game, and with that, GG well played. With that, we're getting into game 3, and I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping that, I mean, again, like, ArT was not looking bad in that game. It was not looking bad at all, but, you know, we saw a couple of crucial mistakes, or just a couple of crucial inefficiencies from ArT when it came to that defense, and yeah, Spirit, he punished. Did barely punish. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3. Let's go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran player himself. We have the Polish Terran leading the series 2-0, but that was a shaky game too. That was a very shaky game. We'll see if he can close it out here and now. Representing ROC Esports, it is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes down in the series. But again, that was such a close game. We'll see if he can bring it back and make a series out of this. Give us a game 4, give us a game 5. It is ArT. Here we go. Whew. So calming down. Settling into our next game. Potentially the final game of the series. Potentially. It all comes down to this. And again, shout out to those working behind the scenes at the Fusion Esports League. Big shout out. Gerald, of course, for helping to organize, all the sponsors as well. A bit of a later GLHF. Some of those things where ArT, he's locked in, maybe a little bit tilted, maybe, and just that remember, she's like, oh right, I didn't. It happens, it happens. Still works Game Fest. InfoLet, of course. InfoLet, the longtime supporters of StarCraft. And of course, many others. Hold on, I got a list, right? InfoLet's the city of Cracov. True. Still works Game Fest. No, God, I'm not gonna try to say. Centrum Cultry. What else do we have? Broadcast Smith as well. True. Much love. Now then, we're calming down. Once again, going for the CC on the high ground. Okay. So economic opener, racks expand, but CC on the high ground this time. So here coming into game number 3, we saw how much damage and how difficult it was for Spirit to maintain his low ground expansion last game. This time, high ground expansion to keep it safe, to make sure there's no early shenanigans, right? This time there's no zealots or adept or any kind of disruption here at the CC. Going for a 1-1-1 add-on swap here. Reactor into add-on swap into reactor Hellion into what? Into Hellion drop. Let's go proxy starport. Now I say Hellion drop, this should be a proxy starport into a medevac to drop the 4 Hellions into the main base to roast up some probes. Otherwise, this could be one of 2 things. This could also be just 4 Hellions to harass the natural, and then we proxy Liberator. So you can go proxy Liberator from here, but we're expecting proxy medevac. As Hellions are moving out. Now how many, there it is, medevac is on the way. How many Hellions to one-shot a worker? 3. Takes 3 Hellions to one-shot a probe, and if they line up, I mean, the Hellions, they do splash damage. So it's that much more. We do see the ArT split up in between his bases. ArT has limited scouting information. He did not open sentry. Ooh, he went double stalker into a delayed sentry, which means a later hallucination scout. So ArT is working with incomplete information. Warp gate is just now finishing up. Here we go. Drop into the main. Armies at the natural. And the Hellions have arrived. They're headed for the mineral line here. There is an opening. Probe's going to be going down. He gets 1 so far. He gets up to 3. Yeah, 3 probe kills, getting up to 5. Getting up to 6. 1 Hellion goes down. And gets 1 more volley towards the end. 9 probe kills. 10 probe kills. And he pulls away. Ephemeri does pull away, does save his Hellions. So 2 Hellions for 10 workers, a very nice trade here for Spirit. Going back in. Oh no, the Jukes! He goes back in, he wants more. He can 2-shot. He can 2-shot probes with 2. Does come in, 1 more volley. Oof. 11 probes, 13. Oh my god. 13 workers do go down. A very nice damage here from Spirit. Remember, Hellions, they don't scale well into a longer game, so 13 worker kills is beautiful here for Spirit. And ArT, he's in trouble. Like, ArT, he falls behind. He has a counterattack. He's pushing as we speak. Blink is almost done. And he has to get something done across the map. Back at home, what do we have? Bunkers. As you can see, Spirit, he's getting ready for the counterattack bunker here on the low ground. Likewise, tank is ready in the main. Nice SimCity here, walling up to make sure the tank is safe. This is when Spirit is at his most vulnerable, but honestly, he's looking pretty secure. Given a little bit more time, we'll have another tank. ArT waiting for the Observer, waiting for the Hallucination, waiting for high ground vision, claiming his 3rd base. Spirit, he rooks up to get eyes on the 3rd. ArT, he spots the tank, he blinks in, and he shouldn't get the tank. Yeah, he shouldn't get it. The tank does pull away, boys are pulled to repair, the tank will survive, and all the Stalkers, oh no, they're all punished, all the Stalkers go down, GG gets called, and a Spirit, he will survive, he will defend after crippling the economy, and Spirit, he will advance on into the playoffs. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations, Spirit. He will claim the series. He did come in as a favorite player here, and I will say that ArT, he was looking quite strong in game 2. Like, things look very close, very intense in game 2, but for the most part, Spirit, he was in control of this series, and in the end, he was able to overpower, and make it into the main event. I mean, Spirit, he is the strongest Terran player in Poland, so, you know, he's one of the favorites that everyone expected to make it through, but regardless, it was still a very intense series, an intense back and forth. GG, well played. And with that, we have our top 4 players confirmed. Let's go over the group stage. Let's go over the playoff bracket. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. We have some catching up to do. And if you weren't here yesterday, we can go over Group A results as well. Let's go. Let us go. Again, congratulations to our top 4 players. We'll just go over them. We had yesterday, of course, Group A. I do recommend checking out the VODs. We had some very, very close series here. I'll be honest, in my mind, Group A was the closest one to call. In my mind, Laser, Mana, and Cristiano are very close in skill, and that could have gone either direction. In the end, Laser and Mana did make it through into the playoffs here. You see here such a close back and forth between Cristiano and Mana. Cristiano, he was up 2-0, and then Mana was able to win 3 games in a row, and again, really, really intense PvP between Mana and Cristiano. Likewise, Cristiano, he never played against Laser. Laser was able to avoid him, and even Laser against Mana went to the ace match as well. Like, really, really close games, a lot of ace matches between Laser, Cristiano, and Mana. In the end, Laser and Mana made it through. Cristiano and Thrifax were knocked out, and that was, of course, yesterday's group. Today, Group B. Today we have Gerald. Gerald, he makes it through in 1st place, and Spirit makes it through in 2nd. I would say that Group B was a little bit more favored here in regards to the top 2 players. A little bit more, there was just some more favorite players, I should say. ArT and PAPI are a little bit less active as of late. Despite that, we had some close games. You know, PAPI, he went toe to toe with Gerald, of course. ArT, likewise, he even had his own strong showing as well. Did go down in the end to Spirit in a 3-0 fashion, of course, but you know, still was able to put on some good games, put on a good show, and in the end, Spirit and Gerald, they will make it through into the playoffs. And here we have them. As you can see here, this is going to be tomorrow's broadcast. You can see here in 19 hours or 20 hours, in 20 hours time, we're going to be live with the playoffs. We have Gerald versus Mana in the lower semifinals, and we have a Laser versus Spirit in the upper semifinals. So we have a Protoss confirmed for the finals, a Protoss also confirmed for the 3rd place match. It's going to be best of 5, best of 5, best of 7, and then best of 9 finals. That is crazy. A best of 9 finals. That's gonna be a long broadcast, let me tell you. it's gonna be a long broadcast, and what's gonna be brutal about it is it's gonna be a back and forth. It's gonna be a back-to-back broadcast as well, as tomorrow we're going to be live with the Sparkling Tuna Cup before the Polish Championship playoffs. So 2 broadcasts back to back. I do also want to apologize for those that were maybe looking for a broadcast earlier today. As you can see, we are just wrapping up with the Sunday morning broadcast at 1 AM KST. We just wrapped up the Polish Championship. As you can see, we were supposed to cast the FEL qualifier. This was at this point, like, what, 7-8 hours ago. We were supposed to be casting the FEL qualifiers, but I'll be honest, I wasn't really feeling too good. I wasn't really feeling at 100%. I wasn't feeling the best, so I did decide to you know, have a bit of a nap, have some rest. We did miss the Fusion Esports League Global Qualifier number 3 as a result, so I do apologize for that. I saw the results afterwards, and I do wish that I was able to cover it, and I was able to cast it. Instead, I did rest up to make sure that I was in best shape and best form for this cast. Otherwise, it would have also been a back-to-back broadcast. So I do apologize for that. As a result, I don't think there was any English coverage for the FEL Global Qualifier number 3. That was again earlier today. That was again like 8 hours ago at this point. So I do apologize for that. But at least we were here for the Group B coverage, and I'm pretty satisfied with how we covered it. So GG will play some really fun games, really fun matches. Our next broadcast, as you can see here, is going to be at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be in around. Oh, Jesus, that's going to be at 8 p.m. AEST. That's going to be in around 15 hours. In 15 hours time, we're going to be live with Sparkling Tuna Cup. That is our weekly open tournament, and it's going to be from Sparkling Tuna Cup leading into the Fusion Esports League playoffs. So back to back, one cast right into the other. It's going to be a very intense broadcast, a very intense night of StarCraft, just because it's going to be a lot of games. I'll do my best to be well rested and be good for it. I'll do my best. I'll be honest, I have been a little bit under the weather over the past couple of weeks. I don't know if you noticed, but I have been a lot more lower energy, and I've been casting less as a result. I do apologize for that. usually, you know, we're going strong and we're casting everything, but over the past 2 weeks, I'm casting a little bit less. Have been a little bit, yeah, just low energy and low, even a little bit of low motivation because of low energy as well. But you know, we'll get back on that horse, of course. EWC is around the corner as well, so we'll be there for it. We'll be there for it as well. And obviously we have to be there for Fusion Esports League as well, and our own tournaments. So the broadcast, the casting will go on as always. We'll go on. We'll go on. When it comes to our calendar, this week is going to be pretty busy. Again, we have one cast a day every single day, at least one, typically two. We have the Galaxy Cup, we have StarCraft Evolution Masters, we have SEL, the Last Chance Qualifiers, we have Sea Ducklings Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, we have the Platinum StarCraft 2 League monthly tournaments. That's going to be next weekend as well. And the Esports World Cup is in just over a week's time. It's next week. It's right around the corner. I already announced this before, but may as well announce it again. We do have permission to co-stream, just like last year. Last year we co-streamed. This year we're going to be co-streaming EWC as well. What does co-streaming mean? That means that it's going to be like a viewer party. It means that we most likely will not have a clean feed. Instead, we're going to have a bit of a dirtier feed instead. We're going to have a feed with the casters, where we can hear the casters as well. And we'll be able to, like, I guess, supplement that commentary or provide our own commentary over it. And we can enjoy EWC together here on the CranKy Ducklings. That'll be the plan. I believe the talent lineup was just announced, and they've got basically everyone's going to get involved. Artosis, Tasteless, Zombie Grub, Pig, Rotterdam, State, Kalaris, Fear Dragon, Cats, like all the regulars. I think basically the same lineup that we had last year is going to be there this year as well. Oh boy. And again, we'll be here co-streaming. We'll be here co-streaming, covering the event here on the CranKy Ducklings. If you want an idea of what our co-streaming is like, I was pretty satisfied with our co-streaming last year. Basically, like, just taking a bit of a step back and just adding some commentary here and there, letting them cast when they can, or stepping in at times. True, we did have to take control of the wheel at some times for some of those games, for sure. But the VODs are on Twitch. The VODs are on Twitch. The VODs were not uploaded to YouTube, but the VODs are on Twitch for last year's broadcast. And yeah, with that we're wrapping up. With that, wrapping up for today. Also, for some greater context, some of you might be curious, might be thinking, hold up, isn't there going to be an offline tournament in Cracov? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Bam. So this is the Polish Championship. This is an online tournament. The offline tournament is after Esports World Cup. There's a big $8,000 offline tournament happening in Krakow, in Poland, and basically the winner of this Polish Championship gets an invite to that offline finals, to that offline tournament. So this championship leads into another tournament. Scrolling all the way up, you can see it here. You can see here. Qualifies to Fusion Esports League Krakow 2025. So this does qualify into another offline tournament, or to another tournament, but it's going to be offline in Cracov. That's going to be an $8,000 prize pool, and it was already announced. Certain players, certain invites have already been announced. Clem is going to be there. Rainer is going to be there as well. So we're going to have some of the big European names in that tournament, alongside, of course, qualified players that made it through the qualifiers and made it through this event as well, for example. So with that, we are going to be wrapping up for the time being. Hope you all had a great time. Hope you all had a great day of casting. There we go. That's the spirit. True. But yes. With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. And with that, again, our next cast is going to be. Bam, as we mentioned, there it is. Our next broadcast is going to be in 15 hours. 15 hours time, I'm going to be live here on the channel. I'm going to try to stay awake for as long as I can and try to sleep and wake up just before the cast so I can be well rested and jump into some Tuna Cup action, then into, of course, the FEL playoffs. There we go, back to back. We'll be there for it. Otherwise, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. We'll see you then. Also, if you want to support us, if you want to support our tournaments, then you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. You will get a link to our Patreon. Our Patreon specifically is designed to fund our tournaments. It all goes towards the players. So if you want to help support the StarCraft 2 scene and the StarCraft 2 player base, you can do so via our Patreon to help us grow our tournaments and help us grow the prize pool for our tournaments as well. So you can support us there if you wish. Otherwise, you can also subscribe, or you can also follow us on Twitch, follow us on YouTube. We upload VODs to YouTube on a daily basis, so there's plenty of VOD action for you on YouTube. If you can't watch something live, and if you want to watch it, and if you're like, oh, I can't watch the KSL, for example, I can't watch Korean StarCraft League, or I can't watch Pegastar Cup, or I want to tune in to the VOD of the podcast, of the StarCraft 2 podcast that we host, but if you can't watch it live, then YouTube is the place to be. Otherwise, thanks for watching, thanks for support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. See you then. Ciao, bye, ciao. See you next time.